Hi, hi. So I just realized clearly on Thursday I still wasn't quite 100% because I did something a little odd. Hang on, let me get there. Where are we here? We're getting there. There we go. Good morning, friends. Happy Saturday. Hi, Deborah. Hello, Miss L. Hi, Jane. Nice to see you. Happy Saturday, friends. Hopefully we're on here very shortly. Hopefully. Let me have a quick sip of water. I just realized something that I need to grab in a sec too. Hello, Marilee. Hello, Wanda. Nice to see you, friends. There we go. I think we're about there now. Jane, thank you. Jane said, glad you're feeling much better. Oh my goodness, it has been it's been a kind of a little bit of a crazy last 2 weeks. Basically crazy since we were together last on International Scrapbook Day. Well, I'll talk about that in a minute. Welcome. Hello. You can tell it's a Saturday just getting into summer because, well, it's either something I did or people are out living their lives, which is so good. Um, I, uh, I just noticed when I went to start this, when I set everything up on Thursday, normally I put the date out there on YouTube, which would be today, and the time, which would be 9 a.m. Pacific. And when I looked, it said May 14th at 6:31 p.m. So I don't know what happened there, but anyhow, if you missed it because of me, I apologize. And if you're watching the replay going, what the heck happened? Well, that's what happened. Let's see. We'll take a couple minutes and then we'll jump in. Hi, Carla. Nice to see you. Nancy. Hi, Nancy from Nevada. Deborah. Deborah, your cast came off. That's fantastic. Your wrist, right? Was it wrist? Good morning, Martine. Nice to see you. Fiona. Okay, Fiona, you need to tell us. I need educating. Arnhem. So I can tell by your name, I'm assuming that you are not in the US, and Arnhem. Somewhere in Europe, maybe like Netherlands, maybe. Hi, Scrapped NH. Good morning, Louisa. Linda May. Good morning, Linda May. Kathy is here from Cray, Southern California. How's Nick doing? Nick's doing awesome. Nick is great. If Nick's my husband, if you don't know. Well, I'll talk about that too in a minute. Okay, friends, welcome, and happy Saturday. If you are new here, welcome to you. My name is Lael Kankar, and on Saturdays, when I'm not traveling or when I'm not sick, that's what happened last weekend, we're here on my YouTube channel doing what I like to call creative listing. So usually a couple days before, on Thursdays, I publish our listing topics, and on Saturdays we sit down, or I sit down, and I play, and I play, and I play, and I play, and I take whatever those list topics are, and I make lists. But as I'm doing that, I'm stamping and playing with pattern paper and washi tape and die cuts and all different kinds of things. So we have a lot of fun. We laugh a lot. We chat. So we're chatting here in the chat if you're watching live. And we make mistakes, and when we make mistakes, we talk about what happened and why and how we can fix it, and it's just a lot of fun. We've been doing this the last little over 4 years. Started the very beginning of the pandemic, and we're still here, which is such a fun thing. Most, if not all, the products that you'll see me use, you'll find on my website at laelbymail.com. So in the description box of the video down below, there's loads of things, lots of links. One of those links will take you to a page on the website of what I'm using, and that's probably the easiest way. If you're watching within the week of when this is live, then you'll see what I'm using today. But that link, that website changes every week because it's updated for what I'm using. So I'll always tell you what I'm using. You can find it on the website, but I encourage you to use whatever you have. I always say there's only 2 things that you need to participate with us on a Saturday. Something to write with and something to write on. That's it. Everything else is gravy, and whatever gravy you have, use it, right? Sometimes you like gravy on your food, sometimes you don't. So you decide what gravy and how much you want to add. All right. So before we get started, let's just have a little chat, okay? So 2 weeks ago, yeah, the 4th, we were here all day. We were doing an all-day listing session for International Scrapbook Day. And that afternoon, I had mentioned that I think Nick was laying down because he wasn't feeling well. And he was sick about 2 days, and Monday, that the 6th, I guess, it hit me hard. Pretty much 10 days. So Nick had it for 2, I had it for 10. He was up and at 'em quickly, and then me not so much. So we ended up rescheduling one class. We held another class. Last Saturday, we were not together at all, but it was much needed rest, so that was great, especially after that Friday night. About 10:15 at night, Nick, my husband, I'm in my pajamas, still not feeling 100%. He said, "Get your shoes on, we're going on an adventure." And we chased the Northern Lights and found the Northern Lights, and it was the most incredible thing I have ever experienced. I don't know, maybe about 2 months ago, we did a list, a travel bucket list. It was a list that we had done a couple of years ago, so we kind of did an updated version. Oh, hello. Hi, Katie. Reggie's joining the party. And one of those things that was on both bucket lists, so from a couple of years ago and then 2 months ago, was see the Northern Lights. So I never in a million years thought it'd be in my backyard. Well, about 40 minutes from our house, but the most spectacular thing I've ever seen. So that was sick for 10 days, seeing the Northern Lights, lots of excitement. And then last night, so still have a little bit of that cold going on. You can hear that, but also it's not entirely cold. It's also fun. Nick and I last night went and saw an amazing concert. We saw Kane Brown in concert. So Kane Brown had 2 different opening acts. Parmalee was one, and then Tyler Hubbard was another one. And if you're a country music fan, those 3, oh my goodness, I can't even tell you. It was so good. We had the best time. So part of that is scratchy voice from enjoying myself. So lots of fun and excitement and beautiful weather. We're in spring, and I just love this time of year. So it's a good time to be alive, friends. It's a good time to be alive, right? Linda May said, "I'm so fancy today." No other. Well, we're gonna have friends over, like for heavy apps tonight, and sit out on the back patio for cocktails. But I started out with just the t-shirt on. And which I'll end up taking off anyway, but menopause. So sometimes hot, sometimes cold. So put the jacket on, and then it's off. So there, not as fancy. Now it's just t-shirt. But this, I had some of my jewelry out last night when we were getting ready to go to the concert, and refound this. This was I bought this on Etsy from an artist, but maybe about a year ago, Nick and I were watching Very Into Madam Secretary. So we were watching that on Netflix or whatever, like all 28 seasons or whatever it was. And during maybe 2 of the seasons, she had worn a necklace just like this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. And so I just Googled Madam Secretary necklace and then found an artist on Etsy that made it and ordered it. And I've never worn it. So I thought, oh, I'll wear it today because it was just sitting there. So yeah, not so fancy. Now I've got just my short sleeves on. Let's see what else we have here. Date was last night. It was so much fun. Hi, Tabitha. Nice to see you. Patricia from Maine. I looked like a chicken when I did that. Not too flattering, Lil. Hi, Joy. Thank you, Joy. Joy said green is definitely your color. This is I always say I'm not in real life. I'm not like a super colorful person. I wear lots of black and like camel colored and navy and things like that. But when I'm teaching and when I'm filming, I always have to be super colorful. Otherwise it's so drab. But I've started adding more and more of this color to my wardrobe because I love it. I think it's just so fun, and it's bright and cheery. And anyhow, I found this when I was teaching in Spokane in April. Vicki and I were together. Vicki, my dear friend Vicki Booten, and we love to shop. So the end of one of the nights, I think it was Sunday night, everything was done. We ran to TJ Maxx, and I found this little nice and pretty green one. Joy said, "Oh, I hope I didn't miss a class." We had, let's see, week before last, we did the Live Life in Color mini book class. And just this past week, we did the Take a Trip Traveler's Notebook class. Next week coming up is the Let's Get Away mini book class. So, and then actually week after that is the June Traveler's Notebook setup. So lots going on, loads of things going on. But Joy, if you did happen to miss, any of my classes that you buy with any of the project kits, you can always watch it anytime. J-Lo, hi J-Lo, love Jane, I think J-Lo, Kane Brown, yeah. And Shannon said, love Kane Brown. Oh my, I can't even tell you. If you ever have the opportunity to see him in concert, he is a performer and oh my goodness, so good. So good, so good, so good. Now, what I didn't realize, I bought the tickets back in October, so didn't really pay attention back then to who was with him. But Parmalee, they're a wonderful, also country band from a really small town in, I think, South Carolina. Town's called Parmalee. But you'd recognize, I all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, I know all their songs. I know all these songs they're singing. And then Troy Hubbard. I think it's Troy. Apparently, I didn't know this either. Used to be, you're like, what kind of country music fan are you? Used to be in Florida Georgia Line. And so he's kind of gone out on his own. But a bunch of his songs too, totally recognize. I also didn't realize he was a singer-songwriter. So has written songs for lots of other country western artists over the years. And Jason Aldean being one of them. So, and a song that you totally know if you follow. So just so much fun last night. It was like 4 hours. So it was good. It was good. Joy, I can't believe it. Joy said she taught Tyler Hubbard when he was in primary school. Joy, that's so cool. All these things that we keep learning about you, Joy. I love it. It's so much fun. Hi, Trish from Cloudy, Philly. Jane said, so appreciated you sharing the Northern Lights pictures. Lael, amazing you got to see them in your neighborhood. Yeah, I'm not like once in a lifetime. Hi, Adeline. Nice to see you, sweetie. I'm super excited for you and your mom. Your concert coming up. They're going to go see... Oh, okay. I hope that I didn't just mess anything up, Tabitha. I stopped there. I hope I didn't mess anything up. So please tell me that I didn't. I gotta be careful. I have to be careful. But nice to see you, Adeline. Adeline is Tabitha's daughter. Adeline, 12? Are you 12 now, sweetie? Sometimes she lists with us, so that's so fun. Oh, Tabitha, please pipe in and tell me. Please. Terry's son, right? Terry's son got married last night. Congratulations. That's so exciting. So exciting. Okay. Oh my goodness, Tabitha. I just about like, foot and mouth. Okay. Now I can say it. So she knows they're going to London, right? You're going to London this summer to see, well, I know that while you're there, you're going to see Taylor Swift in concert. So that'll be amazing. And that's too much of a trick for her not to know about. Woo, okay, thank goodness. I would have felt so bad. Your daughter, okay, your son got married over like end of last year, right? I know you have had 2 big weddings recently. Hi, Karen, nice to see you. Okay, friends, so I think I got all those little, things out of the way. Although there is one more thing. When we were together last for International Scrapbook Day, we did tons of prizes. I probably did, I don't know, maybe 12 live prizes throughout the day. And then we always have our after party prizes. So yesterday afternoon, I drew those winners. There is a blog post that you'll see on the blog from yesterday, laelbymail.com, and click on blog for the 12 after party giveaway winners. So when you win, I always reply to your comment here on YouTube, but also go there and then you'll just know. So congratulations to the after party winners too. All right. Hi, Kathy. Nice to see you. There you go. Your oldest daughter got married on New Year's Eve. Oh my goodness. Terry, you have had like bam, bam. Very exciting to have your family expanded. Okay, friends, I think that's about all. We'll have giveaways today too, but we've got lots to do today. We're planning on 4 lists. There are 2 that are carryovers from the 4th that we didn't quite get to. So one we started and we'll finish that one and then we'll hit the other. So let's go ahead and rotate the cameras, turn off all the lights, turn on the lights, and then we'll get going, okay? Sound good? How are you today? How have your last 2 weeks been? I hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're doing well. Hope that if you have been sick, I hope you're feeling better. If you have not been sick, I certainly hope you don't get it. It was nasty. There were a couple days there, like seriously, like literally did not get out of bed, could not lift my head off the pillow. I'm not over exaggerating. It was nasty. Like some nasty cold virus. I don't know what it was, but whatever. Okay. Karen's niece got married on New Year's Eve. I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay, friends. So I think we're ready to roll. I've plugged in. I have lots of hydration for so my voice doesn't go any drier and harsher than it is. Oh yeah, you can see I was getting organized for some things before we started. Thank you, Deborah. Yes, we're all plugged in. Crafty Hello said, oh, in the middle of a cold. I'm so sorry. Colds are no fun, right? Well, any kind of sickness is no fun. Did I announce? Yes, Deborah, I believe I announced the Facebook picture winner. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure I did that. I know I did. I did that whenever I said I was going to. I think Monday the 6th or something like that. Yeah, so we're good there too. Terry, I love that. Colleen asked you to remind me to plug in my phone. Thank you. Oh, hi, Colleen. Nice to see you. You'll be home in about an hour to join us. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, friends. So let's jump in. Usually what I like to do is have us start out with, I don't know, I seem a little dark today. Have us start out with the lists that we worked on when we were together last. So let's take a look at those lists first. I have to tell you guys, even though it's nice, beautiful, springy, I am so in the middle of Christmas right now. I have identified all of the products that I will be using in my 2024 December documented mini book project kit. I will tell you, this year I will have my own album designed, it's a cover, but my own album. They're being manufactured as we speak, and so I'm very excited about that. And also just wrapped up on Thursday a set of custom exclusive die cuts that will also be part of that kit. So very excited. But so even though it's beautiful, I'm so excited for summer and spring. I've also been channeling Christmas, because that's how things work. We got to be thinking Christmas right now, right? Okay, water. So let's take a look. Yep, it's a 6x8. It is for sure a 6x8. It is a 6x8. Well, a little bit bigger than 6x8, but 6x8. All right. So let's take a look at our lists from last week. So the first list 2 weeks ago, the first list that we started out with was milestones. Because it was kind of a big day, International Scrapbook Day, we were celebrating. We did a list about milestones, and I did a list of milestones for 2024. So things that happened or have happened in our life, my life, Nick's life, our family life in 2024. I just had to erase that little line that I had drawn to make sure my stamps were even. But we had a really fun discussion around this, because some people had said, hey, you know what would be cool? It'd be cool. I did 24, but you could also do just a list of milestones in your life, almost like a timeline type of thing. So there were lots of great suggestions surrounding milestones, and I loved the chat when it came to this discussion. Now, I don't want everybody to get too excited, because it's a very plain album. It's a very plain album. All of the insides we will be making and creating, but it's my own album, so that's exciting. Maybe next year, once we get through the first album and that manufacturing process, because that's a whole other ball of wax. I don't want to undersell it, but I'm very excited about it. Okay, so Colleen, is it your birthday? Is it your birthday? Yes, a Documenting December. The mini book, absolutely, Scrapbook Sister. Is it your birthday, Colleen? Happy birthday. Yes, Colleen was one of our winners. Anyhow, but the discussion in the chat when we were talking about milestones was awesome, because people were sharing health-related milestones, some pretty big hurdles that they have jumped over this year, both their own personal. Hi, honey.
Hello, everyone.
How did that meeting go?
Oh, good. Four Seasons flooded their house.
They what?
They flooded. Four Seasons flooded their house when they didn't try to stop in the waste time.
Oh, and you said we've been there.
Everybody's running for the hills, so.
Okay, well, so Nick, Nick is on the HOA board in our neighborhood.
Chagrin.
No, not much to his chagrin. He's a very level-headed man. He kind of is the yin to my yang, right? Because sometimes not so level-headed am I. Anyhow, yeah. So just dealing with, they had a homeowner that this morning had requested to meet with them. So was just wondering, he was giving me an update there. Anyhow, but yes, wonderful chat about milestones and health-related milestones, and it was just really cool. It was a great conversation happening in the chat. So those of you that shared some very personal things, thank you for sharing those with us. All right, so that was one of our lists. Another one of our list. So we've been kind of on this kick about getting older, right? Because it doesn't matter how old you are. Even Adeline's getting older, right? We're all getting older. Colleen just had a birthday. So, but we've been kind of on this kick about lists about getting older, and one of them today for sure. But we started it out a couple weeks ago with, actually, have we done a couple? We've done 3 now. We did this one back in, last month, growing up, and then you kind of filled in your generation. So growing up Gen X, we had so much fun kind of laughing about all of the things that reminded us of what it was like growing up in our generation. So we kind of started with that. And then we hit this one. Actually, this was the week prior. And yeah, songs that were turning 40 in 2024. And so this was kind of fun, right? Songs turning 40 in 2024, which I said, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. This is going to make you feel really old. And we kind of went through a bunch of the songs that we knew and listed songs that were turning 40 in 2024. And then, I just realized I didn't finish a list from last week. Second list from when we were together 2 weeks ago were movies turning 40 in 2024. So things like 16 Candles and Footloose and Beverly Hills Cop. So we had a lot of fun kind of working on that list. Karen, who did you meet? Karen said she met a friend of mine at the expo. Who did you meet? This was the list that I just realized that I had not finished up, so I need to do that this weekend. This was our About Last Month for April. And About Last Month is a list that we do at the start of a new month every month, where we are combining photos, which is kind of a run-on list of things that happened in the month. So that was About Last Month for the month of April. And I think, we did another one. We had a lot done, kind of, on the 4th. We did a Things in My Purse. So this is the second time that we've done a Things in My Purse list. And actually, I need to date this guy. Second time we've done a Things in My Purse list. And let's see, this would be May 4, 2024. This is what I call a time capsule list, right? A time capsule list. So these things change, probably, things in your purse change throughout the course of your life. Like when I was in high school, I didn't carry a purse. In my high school, that was not even something that you did. I guess you just put whatever you needed in your pocket, like your lip gloss and money, because you didn't have a credit card. You didn't have a phone because they didn't exist back then. So I guess you didn't really need a purse. Deborah asked what collection was for the Things in My Purse. That is the Good Vibrations collection from Pretty Little Studio. Good Vibrations. Yeah, so we've done that a couple times. Kind of fun to look at. Maybe when I was a new mom, the things in my purse, quite different. Maybe bottles and binkies, and then as the kids got a little bit older, maybe Game Boys and Legos, and anyhow, just kind of fun one to do every so often. Really kind of tells what's happening. Last time we did this, it was during the early days of the pandemic. So face masks, hand sanitizer, things that I don't carry a face mask anymore, but so just kind of telling what's happening during the times, all right? So those were the lists that we did last time we were together on the 4th. Now we started another one. The other one that we started was in focus and out of focus. So I'm actually going to come back to this. This will be our second list that we work on, okay? This in focus and out of focus. But I have all of these things kind of set up already here. So we're going to start with this one. I'm trying to find the paper she wrote it, Jigglypuff Creations. No clue. Yeah, go check, Karen, because that Jigglypuff Creations doesn't ring a bell. Karen said she met someone, a friend of mine, last weekend, and not sure who that is. So yes, I'd love to know. All right, so one of the lists that we had on our list of lists to do back on the 4th was best choices I've ever made. And this was a list suggestion from my friend Allison Allison lives in Utah, and she and I met at a scrapbook store probably, I want to say, at least 20 years ago. At least 20 years ago. So, wonderful, beautiful, amazing person, the most kind-hearted soul that you've ever met, and the most amazing mother. Yes, so she had sent me a long list of lists during the pandemic of list topics and suggestions, and I pulled that one and thought it would be fun. So best choices that you've made, right? Best choices that you made. And as always, with our list, you get to decide what that means to you. It could mean best choices from a travel perspective. It could mean best choices from friendship. It could mean best choices from relationship. It could be your best food choices, your best restaurant choices, your best music choices, the best movies you've ever seen. So you get to decide how that kind of, excuse me, you guys, it's going to be probably a lot of that today. But how that applies to you and your life. Okay, so mine is going to be a mix. Just some of the best choices I think that I've made in the course of my life. Still a little bit crooked here. The crookedness drives me crazy. All right, so I am to the point in my insert where I'm starting to get towards the end. And when that happens, I will pretty much work on my pages off the page when I can. So I'll create them here, and then I'll adhere them to my book in my insert when I'm done. So the collection that I'm going to use here for this list is the Crafty Garden collection from 49 and Market, and it is beautiful. And if you ask Terry what I find so beautiful about this collection, she'd be able to tell you in a heartbeat, and it's the yellow. It is the yellow. So just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Nice, beautiful papers. Lots of texture in the artwork. Love the yellow. Love then the blue that's kind of part of that. So I've just pulled out some papers to start. Not quite sure yet what I'm going to use, although you won't be surprised. This one is kind of calling my name. So I think I'll end up starting with this guy, and I kind of have a little bit of an idea. Sometimes I sketch things out ahead of time, and here is my little sketch. You had no idea what an amazing, incredible artist that I was, did you? Right? There's my sketch. So that's what we're looking at. I need to get my trimmer out because I forgot about getting that out, so bear with me. I am going to, so when I'm working in a traveler's notebook, the traveler's notebook inserts that we use are standard wide. Ms. L said she bought the bundle. Yes, the big bundle that I put together of Crafty Garden because it's so beautiful. And Wanda said, yes, beautiful paper. It's stunning. So the inserts that we use are standard wide. They are 5 inches wide by 8.25 inches tall. And you see me work almost exclusively with 6x8 papers because in a 6x8 paper, the pattern is scaled down. So if we were looking at this in a 12x12 paper, it would still be beautiful, but all of this would be larger to fit the 12x12. So if I'm trying to cut something down because I want to use a smaller piece, it's better for me to use a 6x8 because that pattern is scaled down and I get to see more of this, right? So I am going to, when I am trimming my papers to go in my inserts, I typically trim for a base. I leave it at 8 inches tall and I trim to 4 3/4 inches wide. That way I end up with a nice kind of white border all the way around the page. So let's say this page is going to go over here. I end up with a nice white border kind of all the way around. So I think what I'm going to do, you guys are not going to be surprised. Terry won't be surprised. I am going to end up using yellow a couple times today. It's my favorite. I just love it. So this will be my left page to start. And when it comes to a right page, the 49 and Market paper packs have 2 each of 12 different designs. So when I look at what I want to go with this, now I could do that, but that's just, I mean, I don't want to do the same thing, right? There's so many beautiful patterns in here that I want to kind of mix it up. So if I look at maybe what else I have to work with, this yellow would be really pretty, but look what I could do. That piece that I just cut off here, I could put this here, and now that could be my 2 pages. So I'm going to use the extra from here. I need to trim this little guy to that same width, which is 4 3/4 wide. All right, let's see. I'm going to turn it this way because maybe if I want some extra, right? Maybe this side, I might want to have that extra piece, right? Because I had that extra piece over there. Anyhow, that's extra. I can use that for whatever I want. One of the nice things about the 49 and Market collections, they always have the beautiful pattern papers. And then on the B-sides, they have things that are a little bit more subtle. So if you need a background or something like that, or something to coordinate, you have that a little bit more subtle pattern in the back. So here we go. This is going to be the start of my list. And I'm going to put this little guy right here. Let's get on our little adhesive here. So we just need a little bit to adhere that on. And put that right there along the edge. So those pieces that you cut off, if you're always cutting off the piece like I am, don't throw them away, right? Because they're a great accent. Now, in this case, I wouldn't have even had to add the yellow there. I could have just taken this piece here, and then let's pretend like that was the other piece, and put that piece there, and then kind of worked with that area, right? So we don't need a lot. We do not need a lot. Need my corner rounder. I like to round the outside corners of my pages. So there we go. And here we go. So already the artwork here, I mean, there's so much beautiful stuff happening that I don't need to add a lot. Now I'm going to add, don't you worry, I'm going to add, but I don't need to, right? I don't have to because it's got so much going on already. So I think, now we need to see here. I know I'm going to use the in the box stamp set. And I have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 different things on my list. Sometimes if I'm making a list and I want to do a little bit more explaining besides, just like a run-on like that, I will use the in the box stamp set. Let's see if I can find one in this one. I will use the in the box stamp set to, here we go. Also that is using 49 and Market. That is using Kaleidoscope. But anyhow, I'll use those little boxes, the box stamp set, to kind of be able to add a little bit more explanation as to whatever is on my list. So that is the plan. What I have to decide is if I want to do something like this, where I'm stamping on white cardstock and then adhering, or I don't know, I'm gonna see. I might want to stamp directly here and here. We're gonna see. I am going to grab, instead of black, okay, I am going to look at, we used this color last week and it actually worked out really well. It was Hickory Smoke. So this really nice kind of gray. Let's grab Hickory Smoke and see if we maybe want to use that one. So that's Distress Oxide. I also pulled out a couple of other colors when I wasn't quite sure. I hadn't decided yet what I wanted to do for the background. So I kind of pulled out a couple of other colors that coordinate with this collection: Speckled Egg, Shabby Shutters, and Fossilized Amber. So I may stamp part of my title and then we'll keep going. Terry, chat about the little bird dish. I know, isn't that fun? I don't know, I've had that forever. I couldn't even tell you where I got it. Joe Disney fan said, I need to move the box stamp set from my favorites list to the cart and buy it. Yes, Joe, sounds like Joe has a wish list going. on the website. So yeah, you can, it's so nice. You can have a little kind of wish list on my website. And then you can actually send a link of that wish list to someone. So maybe someone in your family is like, oh, it's your birthday. What would you like for your birthday? You're like, oh, funny that you ask. Here's a link to my wish list. But it's also a great way just to, if there are things that you are looking at and don't want to forget about, you can just add them to your wish list. And then rainy day comes around and you say, oh, I think I'm ready to shop. And there you go. All right, we just did my little outlining. Okay, so we're going to see what we think here. I'm thinking that if I add my title, I would like to, so my title is Best Choices I've Made. So what I was thinking is that I would do maybe the best and then a choices, stamping the title, and then I've made. So I'd write the best and then stamp choices and then I made. So I'm thinking maybe I should start with the title. If I'm going to do that, maybe I should start with the title. So I pulled out Reggie Alpha. No, actually, you know what? I'm going to use Reggie Alpha in the next one. So what if we use, these are letter scramble stickers from Bella Boulevard. They are 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock stickers. You have loads and loads and loads of stickers here. You have 4 different fonts. A lowercase serif, a lowercase sans serif. So serifs are like the little feet. So this has serif, this does not. Then uppercase sans serif, and then kind of your little tiles there. I love it. Terry said, Karen, she and Terry are finally going to meet today. I love it. You guys are going to do that. Guess what? I'm going to meet one of you on Monday. Pam Soames, right? It's a couple Pam. I think Pam. Pretty sure it's Pam. Pam Soames is in town, and she reached out and said, hey, do you think I'd love to meet you in person? Can we meet for coffee? And I'm like, sure. So we're meeting for coffee on Monday. All right, so look at this. The letter scramble. This is oyster, so look it. I could use oyster in here for my title. Now, don't be worried that you might look at this and go, oh my gosh, it's going to be, you've got this beautiful yellow. You're going to add all these drab colors. Don't worry. It's not going to be drab. And there's not, I mean, I wouldn't use a yellow. I would not use a yellow. There is a yellow, but too much yellow. So I think it'll be nice. Oh, well, no, I'm going to do this. We're going to make this kind of subtle, and then we'll add all of our color with the other things. So I am going to use the word choices for alphabet stickers. I will grab out my little tweezers, my reverse grip tweezers here. And I think we'll use this font, this one up top. So I am going to use the horizontal line here on my little 6-inch ruler to start lining up my word. The nice thing about that, or lining up my letters, is that there's no lines here. So this is a great way, number one, for me to make sure that my title will be straight if I do this. But there's another reason why I also do this. I love these alpha stickers. They're brilliant. I love having so many colors and so many choices in fonts on one sheet. There are, I think, 16 different colors. Oops, where's my garbage? Let me grab that. 16 different colors. So I sell all 16 colors individually on the website, and then also a bundle of all the colors. And I think when you do the bundle, you get a discount. I think it's like 15%. I've marked them down if you're buying all of them. So it's one of those good, what's the word I'm looking for? Good choices. Good staple. It's a good staple. How do I store them, Tabitha? I store them in my, in one of these guys. Excuse me, whew, sneezed. I store them in my 13 by 13 craft pouches. Quick little update on this, friends. Those pouches, I ordered a grundle of them, a lot, and they sold out within a week. And that happened right during in March during our big anniversary celebration. And so I ordered them that week and they have been manufactured. They have made it to customs. So they traveled all the way from the factory in China. They have made it to customs. So they traveled on the water. They've made it to customs in California. And every day I am checking UPS because as soon as they make it through customs, then they will be shipped to me via UPS. So as soon as I see that they are showing up in the tracking number, then I will put them back on the website because they will be about 2 days. As soon as they show up, it'll be about 2 days. So they are coming back in stock. I will also tell you that I have something very special and fun planned with them for a particular project kit, actually 2 different project kits later this year. And also maybe another size or 2. Okay, so watch for those. If you've been waiting, make sure that you have on the website with those 13 by 13 craft storage pouches. They are sold out right now, but hopefully only for a couple more days. You click the button that says email me when available and you'll automatically be notified when they're back in stock. All right, so choices. Here's the other reason that I will always line up my letter stickers on a ruler. Because now, look, I can decide, where does this go? Would this be over here? I mean, it kind of could be, but I don't want it over there. Could it go down here? Could it go over here? If I want it, oopsie, if I want it here, I want to make sure that it's centered, right? And so it's a very easy way for me to, just get that placed back there again. Very easy way for me to move that around to figure out where it's centered, and then I'm ready. So I know I need to write a little bit above, right? I'm writing above that. Best choices, the best choices, and then I've ever made below. I gotta move these out of the way. I just lost an N. All right, the best choices. So I think if I go about right here, oh, look it. That little dot on the I, that's actually pretty close. All right, so once I decide that's where I want it to be, all I do is press down on the top of those letters, like so, and then gently roll that ruler out from underneath. And then everything is straight and centered. Straight and centered, which is what we like. All right, so dot my I. Let's see, a couple options. I can dot my I with a dot, or I could also dot my I with one of these cute little hearts. Maybe like that, right? That would be cute, right? So up here, I think I'll write the best. Oopsie, my S kind of got a little skimwampus there. Oh well, the best choices. And then I want to put that here. I've ever made. And then we'll just kind of do a little dots. All right. So there we go. We are well on our way. Now, the next thing I wanted to decide, we were talking about hickory smoke, right? And I was thinking that maybe I would stamp directly on the page. And I'm not sure here, so I'm going to try something. Where is this? Let's see if this will work. It should. All right. These are transparent sticky notes. And not quite big enough to fit the full stamp, but I think it will give me enough of a idea if I'm going to like the way it looks or not. So we'll end up with 2 over here and probably 3 over here. That's usually what I do. All right, let's grab our stamping block. I am going to start out by stamping this on a transparent sticky note and then lay it on top. And then that will give me a good feel if I like it or not, right? That will help me to see if I'm happy with what that looks like. Because you know me. I already know, Terry, I know you're not going to like it. Terry's like, you're not going to like it. But we'll see. All right, so let's ink this up really well. We're going to ink it up well first, and then we're just going to test it here. Ooh! Test it. This is a very well used and loved stamp set that I have not taken the time to clean out that little inside area, but that's not going to affect anything. All right, so difference there between the gray and the black. So I think the gray will just kind of make it a little bit more subtle, right? All right, so let's look. Let's ink this up again. And we know we're only going to be able to fit part of it on that little sticky note, but it'll be enough. I think it'll be enough that we'll be able to check to see if we like it. Now I can't even see where that is. Couldn't see where the edge of it is because it's transparent. All right. So let's see. Are we going to like this? Oh, you know what's interesting? Okay, that's interesting. I've never had one of the little boxes cut off the edge, kind of bleed off the edge. That could be kind of fun. But let's move it over here a little bit more so we see. Is that going to be okay? I think it'll be okay. I mean, then we'll end up with a little bit of it over here, a little bit of it over here. I think it's going to be okay. I don't think it's going to bother me. So I think we're going to go for it. We are going to go for it. And there we go. That's primarily what I use little sticky notes for. Those little transparent sticky notes is I stamp on it and then lay it somewhere to make sure I'm going to like it. So I think what's going to happen, I think actually I'll probably use, on here I think I'll use 2 big ones. I know, I need to, oh, my sign. Okay, hold on friends. I need to grab 2 things, okay? I need to grab 2 things. I'll be right back. Where'd it go? I'm coming, hang on. Where's my sign? I'm coming. Okay, look at how awesome. Look at what someone made me. Look what someone made me after after National Scrapbook Day when I had to go find something for a minute. So guess what? I will be right back. Now I need to go grab what I needed. I threw my, oh, hang on. Okay, I'm coming. I'm back. I forgot that I had thrown my microfiber cloth in the washer. So I needed to go grab that. Okay, so I need to clean off that one because I will probably use it. I know, isn't that sign so cool? It was the sweetest thing. I want to say I need to write, well, I haven't written on the back of it yet. I need to write on the back of it that I'm going to laminate it. I think Sarah, I want to say Sarah. And if you are here, Sarah, and it was you, please say hello and thank you. Thank you. But I do, Catran89, I do. I carry those transparent sticky notes on the website. So just when you go to laelbymail.com, just search for transparent sticky notes and you'll see them. Woo, ran up and down the stairs. But anyhow, it was such a nice thing. She said, I made you something. I think she told me while we were here that she made it, and then I printed it out afterward. It was so nice. So I'm going to write her name on the back so I remember, and then I am going to laminate it. So anytime I need to go find something, then I just put that little sign out there so you guys don't think that we froze or something. All right, so we're gonna start this guy over here. We're gonna start this guy over here. Like that. Ah! Deep sigh. Did we see what I did? So I dropped it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. You can't see it a whole lot, but I dropped it. And you know what? I'm not super worried because guess what? It's just there. It's very faint. And by the time I do my writing and decorating, we're not going to see it. We're not going to cry. We're not going to worry. It's a nice little decorative background, right? That we didn't necessarily intend to add. But it's all right. It'll be fine. Nobody panic. Oh, you know what? That's when the stamp set from, that is when the stamp set from Bad Day would work in really well there. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. No worry. It does look grungy. I know you really can't see it. Yeah, it is. It looks cool there, right? See, we meant to do that. We meant to do that. We totally meant to do that. All right, so there's the start. We're going to start with, you won't even notice it. You won't even notice it. By the time we're done, you're not even going to see it. So there is the start. That's the start of our list. And I want to do a little bit of decorating before we get too far. Totally fades into the background. I agree. Where'd the second page go? Oh, here it is. Okay. So, want to do a little bit of decorating. I had pulled out the postage stamp washi. I love, love, love. This is one of my favorite products that 49 and Market does, the postage stamp washi. And what's cool about it is it's washi, but it is perforated. So you can use it as a strip, right? I could use it as a strip right there. That would be cool. Look how cool that is, right? I could use it as a strip right there. But I won't because it won't really work here. My plan to do the boxes, so it wouldn't work with the boxes. But you could use it as a whole strip, or you can perforate, pull off the individual little stamps, right? Which I think are just so fun. So I thought it might be kind of fun to pull a couple of these and maybe do something like this for each of these little boxes that we're doing. So let's see. There's one. I don't know. I think we're gonna have to pull in some of this blue, friends. I love this blue. So I think we're gonna pull in a little bit of blue. Well, maybe put this one. I feel like I should do this one over here. So if we just add now a little stamp to each box, right? And then as we come over here, we'll continue our stamps. So I know I want to probably use those. We'll just kind of put these right here for now. But these, I love that they're kind of multi-purpose, right? Because you can use individually and then also use together. Still decorating over here. I want to spice up those boxes a little bit. And so I am going to use a colored pencil. I've used a couple of my different Swatch This stamp sets. I use Swatch This inks to swatch all of my inks. You see me anytime I use an ink, I pull these swatches out because it's so easy to kind of match things. And that's what I did when I was pulling those colors. I came in and looked at, I just started going through my swatches and thought, oh, those would work great. So the other stamp set, Swatch This stamp set that I have used is this guy. The Swatch This pens and pencils. So I have swatched not all, I still am this is an ongoing project. This is a good project to work on when you are like in front of the TV. So these are my colored pencils. And when I am looking for, I think I know what we're gonna do. When I am looking for a color, instead of grabbing out my 8 different tins of watercolor pencils to see what I want to use, I can just pull out my little swatch book here and go from there. So part of me says go with fossilized amber because, yeah. But then it might be kind of fun, I don't know, we can test it, to maybe pull in a little bit of that blue. And maybe that blue is speckled egg. Let's see, speckled egg. So it's going to come from, number 1 has speckled egg. Oh, duh, where am I? 6, 2, I need number 1 and I need number 2. Okay, number 2, there we go. And number 1. Because I tested this already in my little book, I can now use my little test here with my 2 colors to see what I like. Here's speckled egg. And here is fossilized amber. These are Tim's watercolor pencils. And where am I? Oh, yellow. I don't use them for watercolor. I am not a mixed media person. I use watercolor pencils like a colored pencil, but what I like about them is they match the inks that I use. So if we wanted to be pretty subtle, we could come in with the yellow. So look at how that changes that to just my outline to then coloring in between the lines. So that would be pretty subtle. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm gonna end up with. Then over here, I can try using the blue. Yeah, it's the yellow, no doubt. Surprise, surprise, it's the yellow. But my testing now has served two purposes, right? It has served a purpose of making sure everything looks good with my stamp before I start, making sure I like the ink color I'm stamping with. But now that I've already tested it, then I can kind of build on top of it with kind of checking to see what I might want to use. DG Man 76, that is from, it is from the Swatch This Pens and Pencils stamp set. So it is, I will show you. It's this little guy. So pens, pencils, markers, and then it has 1, 2, 3, 4 different style pens and pencils, and then brand color type. So you'll see that on the website. Swatch This Pens and Pencils. There are 3 different Swatch This stamp sets that I have. One is actually 4. There's Swatch This inks that I used here. There's Swatch This inks mini. So little mini version of the stamp set. What's cool about the mini version is they just so happen, oh look, that just blends perfectly right there. It's look like it was meant to be. Let me find that one here. Where would that be? If I was that, where would I be? Would I be right here? Let's see. Well, there's Swatch This Washi. I don't know where my Swatch This Mini inks is. Anyhow, it's a smaller version. What's cool about Swatch This Mini inks is that they fit in a traveler's notebook. So they fit like side by side if you wanted to do your little swatching in a traveler's notebook. So Swatch This ink, Swatch This Mini inks, Swatch This Pens and Pencils, and Swatch This Washi tape. Swatch This inks was one of the very first, I don't know, maybe like 5th or 6th stamp set that I actually had created. Out of necessity, right? Because I'm like, oh my goodness, I love to use colored inks. I really need a way to easily be able to see what colors I want to use. Same thing for pencils. All right, so we can't put this away yet because we know we still need to do that. I think we're ready to maybe get our boxes going over here. Okay, so what will be interesting? Well, we're going to do it. We're going to end up, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. I am not sure what I want to do here. Part of me wants to do the same thing where I'm, part here and then part over here and then part over here. But then I don't know if I'll like writing part on this and on this. Part of me says just do them all right here. Like my 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do that. And then, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Ooh, okay. What have I know, because that is, that sticky note is a slick surface. I have now transferred some of that ink to my hands. Oh, and I also realized, Denise has been working on a project for me, and my wipes are downstairs, so we'll just use that. Hello, Jacqueline, nice to see you. Hi, Carolyn, yo mama dog. Georgia, thank you. Georgia's DG Mans. Thank you for telling us your name. Yeah, Jacqueline, you can hear my cold for sure. You can also hear a 4-hour concert last night. So you're getting a little bit of both. You're getting a little bit of both. Hi, Valerie. You back from Alaska? You back from your cruise? How was it? Okay. So yeah, I just think this a little bit. Unless, okay, now I need to think again. Unless if I did okay, we're gonna make this work because it's gonna bother me to have them all. These are offset. If I have all these 3 straight, it's gonna bother me. So I have an idea. I have a plan. We're not panicking. I have a plan. And guess what? If we don't like it, then it'll be okay. Right? Because we're just playing, right? All of this, well, this is twofold. What we do here on Saturdays, we do for 2 reasons, right? Number one, we're having fun. We are crafting, we're chatting, we're socializing, we're playing, we're trying, we're experimenting, we're having fun, right? And that is a super, super important part about what we do here on Saturdays. All right. We're not going to panic about that. That's part of what we do here on Saturdays. But the other part, all of this is we are documenting, right? I'm telling my story. I am telling my story. I don't know how many people in my life, in my family, in my world know what I think the best choices are that I ever made. So it's good to document, right? It's good to document that. Okay, now I know I had a plan. Now I don't really remember what it is. Isn't that funny? I guess this guy has to come over. I don't know. I had a plan. Jackie, we went to Kane Brown. So the reason this is happening here is, and I need to just pay attention because the same thing happened here, right? I'm going from a little bit of bulk to no bulk. So I will pay attention to that when I get down here. Kane Brown and Parmalee opened, and then Troy, I don't remember. Troy Hubbard, which I can't remember which one. I can't remember who he is, what his name is, but yes, amazing concert. We had so much fun. So much fun. Singing and yelling, both singing and yelling. All right, so now I'm paying attention to this area down here a little bit more, right? Okay, so we'll get there. Looks a little odd, but don't panic. Nobody panic. Looks a little odd, but you can tell when I say don't panic. I'm not panicking, but I'm like, okay, it'll come. It'll come. All right, you want to clean this off really, really well. So I'm just cleaning that off with my little stamp chamois. Get all that ink off. And then it's ready for me to use next time. Concerts are my favorite thing in life. You know what, Karen? I literally had the biggest grin on my face the entire time, like huge grin. I love live music. I love it. I love it. It feeds my soul. So yes, we had so much fun. So much fun. We actually have a couple more concerts that we are going to this year as well. Next month, so in a couple weeks, Luke Combs is playing here in Utah. And so when we bought the tickets, it was a 2-nighter. So you would buy the tickets for, where is this coming from? I don't know where that's coming from because that is like black ink. Yeah, I don't know. Is that on there? I should not be cleaning my hands and trying to get ink off with that because I'm going to end up transferring it. Anyhow, so Luke Combs, Friday, Saturday night. And we just decided, oh my goodness, we don't need to go to both nights. So last night I texted Sam or called him from the concert, the one we went to last night, and said, hey, buddy, we have concert for Luke Combs, concert tickets for 2 nights. We're only going to go 1 night. Do you want to take your girlfriend? He's very excited about that. So we have that one. And then we have last year, we have friends that live in Denver, so we went to visit them, and we went and saw Little Big Town and Chris Stapleton and George Strait at Mile High Stadium. Well, they decided to continue the tour this year, and they're coming to Salt Lake, so we're going to go see them again. That was an amazing concert, so good. And then we're going to hit one of Nick's bucket list concerts, and he likes a lot of the music concerts that we go to, but like last night, he's like, nah, this isn't really my thing, but you love it. And so, I'm happy to be here, and, you're having so much fun. What is his thing is Neil Young is coming, and Neil Young has been on his bucket list forever. So we're going to go to Neil Young and take my mom. So that is kind of our concert lineup for this year. I think Neil Young's in September, maybe. I don't remember. But anyhow, the next 3 are all outdoor concerts. So yes, we're very excited about that. Crafty, this is Crafty Garden from 49 and Market. Let me have a quick sip of water. Kid Rock Rodeo. Wow, I didn't even know that was a thing. The Kid Rock Rodeo. All right, so let's keep going. Let's still work in our stamps, right? We know we want to work stamps in over here. So what if this one kind of comes right here, right? Maybe. Is that too much? Maybe it needs to be a little bit more there. Or maybe we need a little bit more contrast over there. So maybe this guy sits over here, and we need something that has a little bit more contrast there on the white. Maybe the blue. It's not that, it doesn't have that much more contrast, but maybe, let's see. We like that. And then we need one more thing over here. So let's see what other ones that we have. My goodness, it is warm. It is warm, warm, warm. Yes, I'll deal with the gaps. Don't worry. We'll get the gaps. We're not going to leave those little gaps. So I don't want to do another blue down here because I already have a blue. I don't want those 2 blues side by side, and I really don't want to do another brown because the brown's kind of heavy. We could try this guy, maybe this little yellow here. That may be too much yellow. Let's just try it and see what we think. Maybe this guy goes up here. Like that. Oh, I put the brown, even though I said I didn't want to do another brown. I think the brown's going to be better than the yellow. I think that's maybe a little bit too much yellow. So we'll go with the brown. We will go with the brown. All right. So tell me, are you guys listening with me today? Are you listing? If you are listing, I am curious. What is one of the best choices that you've ever made? And even if you're not listing, you can still tell me what is one of the best choices that you have ever made. Do tell. I'm going to look for something here. We'll see if maybe we can't fill in those little, where is it? Where's hickory smoke? I know it's here. Oh, here we go. Because all of the pencil sets, all of the colors are now in the watercolor pencils. So what I'm thinking I could probably do is sharpen this guy. Kathy, okay, look at it, I love it. Jessie said her children. Deborah said marrying my husband. Nancy said becoming an x-ray tech. I love that, Nancy. Vanessa's listing. Kathy married 52 years. My goodness, Kathy, congratulations. Deborah leaving law firm practice. Aha, right? So sometimes our choices are to stop doing something, right? Sometimes start doing something, but sometimes stop or make a pretty big life change. Linda May wants to be listing, but she is filling cross-stitch pillows, patriotic ones. Oh, that sounds fun. Vanessa said stop working when her health declined, listening to her body, right? Listening to her body. Shannon, are you going to both nights? Shannon said she's going to Luke Combs and she can't wait. Look it, I'm going to use hickory smoke. And it's not going to look exactly right, but it'll help to fill in that little gap. And then we may work on a few more things to help fill in that little gap. You going to both nights, Shannon? My first question for you. Jesse said, I'm actually listing. It's been a while. Shannon, not listing, but best choice ever was giving John a chance. Oh, Shannon, I love that. I love that. That makes me happy. All right. And he's only there for one night. Okay. I got to ask my friend Lindsay because I believe that she is seeing them both nights. And so what I'm trying to ascertain is which would be the better night to go to, since we're giving Sam our tickets for the second night. I want to know which is the better night to go to, the first night or the second night. Now, he says, Luke Combs says, okay, I'm looking for the yellow again. Shouldn't have put the yellow away. Fossilized amber. That he has different opening acts for sure for both nights. And then he says it's a different set list. Oh, I know. I'll just Google the set list. That will tell me, and then I'll decide that way which night we want to go to. Oh, there we go. Look it. Okay, you can't even tell now. So I fixed it, right? I fixed it. You can't even tell that that little area didn't stamp. All right, let's get these colored pencils put away because I think we are done with them, and they tend to, well, they take up a lot of room on my workspace, but they also are adding a little bit of glare. So if you looked back at my list when I use the stamp set, for the most part, a lot of times my lists look the same or very similar. Look at, right? So you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. And kind of, I mean, I'm changing the tire. How about that? I'm not reinventing the wheel, but I'm changing the tire. So it looks a little bit different, but still kind of the same. Makes it easy, right? Makes it easy. Shannon's going second night since it's a Saturday. All right. Okay, so let's now do just maybe a little bit more work because we have all of these beautiful laser cuts that I've pulled out from the collection. We have these beautiful laser cuts, and we have even some transparencies. So I think I can fill in now a little bit more space with some of these beautiful colors. There's so many beautiful butterflies in here. Oh yes, that one is just nice and pretty. Nice and pretty. I haven't pulled out too many pieces. I'm not sure what I did with oh, I don't want to use that. All right, reason I don't want to use that. I was gonna make a little kind of cluster, but that is too close in size to those guys. So we don't want to use that. I mean, I could turn it on its side, I suppose. I don't know what I did with the ephemera from this collection. So I'm working here with, oh, let's get the rub-ons. Let's get the rub-ons out. That will work. Let's see. All right, here we go. Here are the rub-on packs. Let's see maybe what else we want to use. I don't know. We may not need a whole lot more here, friends. We may just kind of keep going with what we're going with here. Now, if I put those there, whatever I write here needs to be pretty small, but that's okay. I can make that work. We've got some other little yellow guys. I don't like that there. The reason I don't like that there, it doesn't bother me here, but that bothers me, the flower thing. So I think we will maybe not go with that. No, don't really need that one either. I don't know. I kind of don't need a lot here, I think. I have a couple of these little guys. Maybe we put one of these little guys maybe down here like that. That may be, I may end up just sticking there. Okay, I'm gonna grab one more little tool here. Grabbing the highlighter tape. So this is repositionable tape. I am going to just pick both of those up. now as one single piece, so that I can put my adhesive on the back while they're staying together. And then when I, got a little bit too much there. Let's see. Wow, that is a lot of glue pen. We'll just use my little paper here to redistribute that glue. I guess I pressed that a little bit more than I intended to, so a little too much came out there. Glue pen is definitely your friend when it comes to the laser cuts. If you're working with the 49 Market laser cuts, they're so intricate that trying to use your regular tape runner would be a little bit difficult. All right, there we go. So now that's my one piece. That's one piece because I've used that highlighter tape to hold it down so I can keep it kind of where I want it. We'll do that. Get all that liquid adhesive down. And then I will gently peel that highlighter tape away. And it's reusable, repositionable. So I just keep putting it on my little dispenser there. That's on the website also. So anytime that if I'm layering die cuts, I will use that to take however many pieces I have, turn it into one piece so that I can lift it up and put my adhesive on and then move from there. Hello, Miss Vicki Booten. How are you feeling? I saw Vicki and I had what's that? Oh no, 2 days ago. 2 days ago. We had a nice long conversation just to catch up. And then Vicki, I saw last night that you said you were sick, that you didn't do your Friday because you weren't feeling well. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you're feeling better. I have to send you some pictures and video from the concert we went to last night. All right, there we go. We like this little guy over here, we think. Whoopsie. So let's try to add some, now I've got that glue all over myself. Let's try to add a little bit more. There we go. I was a little heavy-handed before as I was working with that glue pen. Okay. We will cut some of this off here. Only one set list. Interesting, Shannon. Interesting, yeah, because it sounds like Luke Combs is twice in Phoenix. Phoenix, I assume. Phoenix, right? Yeah, no, I know he has. Two different, sorry. I know he has two different opening bands. All right. Okay, so there's some things I still need to read. Let's see, I gotta come back because we're talking about our best choices. Karen's so sweet. Karen said, finding Lael on Alive is one of my best choices. We share the same creative style. My projects are beautiful because of her. You are so sweet, Karen. Thank you. Georgia, right? DG Man 76, was that Georgia? Taking care of her husband after complete knee replacement surgery. Oh my goodness, that's a big one. That is a big one. He is lucky to have you. Let's see. Scrapbook Sister said, making scrapbook my hobby. It has made me a happy person. That's one of her best choices. Hi, Joanne, popping in on lunch at work. Gina said, good morning. My best choice was saying yes after 42 years when my old boyfriend came into my life again and asked me to grow old with him. Gina, that's a wonderful story. Gina, I want to say, have you told us? I mean, it's good. But I want to ask, I think, have you shared that with us before? That kind of rings a bell now. I think so. I think I remember that. I hope so. I love that. I love that for you. That's so awesome. Georgia, again, I think Georgia, so if I'm wrong, please correct me. Best decisions, accepting Jesus as my savior, getting married to my husband of 47 years, having children, doing my DNA and finding my biological family. That's gotta be scary, right? That's gotta be exciting, but scary at the same time. Let's see. Fast car for 4 hours. That's hilarious. That Luke Combs was going to do fast car for 4 hours. Cindy said my best choice was of my husband, together 40 years ago. Now, congratulations, Cindy. Congratulations. All right. So I feel like what I need to do, so we have kind of this, we've got a lot going on, right? We have a little bit of a visual triangle going on here with our die cuts, this piece, and this piece. But I feel like this piece, we need a little bit more down in this corner just to kind of give it a little bit more substance. Scale wise, this is pretty big. This is a good size. I feel like we need one more little thing down here. So let's see what that may be. It could be another butterfly, but I don't know. I don't like that blue together. So maybe that butterfly needs to go there. We're just adding all the things, right? Why not? Why not? It's out. We're just going to add it. And then we'll be making our list shortly. But this is what it's all about, right? It's about, I mean, we could sit here and do all this and I could never make a list sometimes. I mean, I like to. That's why I'm here, is really because I want to record all the things. That's really important to me, to record all of these things about me. Or, you know, if I'm listing about other people in my life. But it's also just fun to play, right? It's just fun to play and get things out and see what things look like. I know. What about if we get a little rub-on bee out of here? This is the Botanicals rub-on set. Let's look. There's these little bees. So we could add, I think we should add a little bee. All right, when it comes to working with rub-ons, this is kind of my process. I've been crafting, scrapbooking, not even crafting, for 27 years. Rub-ons have been around a really long time. They went away for a long time and now they're back. So this was my process way back when rub-ons were kind of big, and it's still my process now. So when you open a package of rub-ons, typically you're going to have 2 sheets, and this has more, but per design, you're going to have 2 sheets, the rub-on sheet or the transfer sheet, that's the top sheet. And this is the little protective sheet. The protective sheet is there to make sure that it stays protected so all your little rub-ons don't end up everywhere. So when I'm ready to work with a sheet, I first get out my stapler and I staple those 2 sheets together. That way they're always going to stay together. Next step, I find the rub-on that I want to use and I cut it away from the sheet. I think I like this little butterfly. I think I like this little bumblebee right here. I cut it away from the sheet. I find it much easier to work with this little piece when that's all I want than to try to take this whole thing and be over here and try not to get all these other rub-ons where I don't want them. So there we go. I cut that away and now I can work with that. So now I will remove that little protective backer sheet. And I think this might just be the right little size, maybe to go right in here. There's my little rub-on. So what I want to do, let me grab my little rub-on tool. As I'm rubbing on, I want to hold this and I want to always keep holding this. Hi, Francis. I want to always keep holding this. As long as I'm holding it, that design is going to stay in place. Okay, and if it's a bigger rub-on, sometimes I need to rotate it and then hold over here, kind of move where my finger is holding it. But I always want to hold it. When I think I'm done, I still want to hold on to it. I'm starting to peel back that little sheet to see if that rub-on is transferred, but I'm still holding. The reason I want to still do that is if for some reason that entire design didn't transfer, I'm still holding it in place. I could lay that back down, grab my little rub-on tool, go to maybe wherever it didn't transfer, rub on, and then lift up again. Everything looks good, and there we go. All right, so now I think what I can do, I kind of like those little bees are they're kind of subtle. So maybe I do another one up here somewhere. Let's add this little guy. I love rub-ons. I can't even tell you how much I love rub-ons. Love, 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 love. They're basically like using a sticker, but they don't have the little white border around it, or like using a die cut, but they don't have the little white border around it, so it looks like it was printed on the paper. I think we need a little bumblebee right by that little flower there. And we'll just keep rubbing on. Move my finger so I can get in that other area. Still hold on, make sure it looks good. Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? We are, there we go. Okay, so do I need one more? Like if we're kind of going in a visual triangle and with our rule of thirds, do we want to maybe put another one right there? Let's see, why not? We have loads of bumblebees. Loads of bumblebees. Yes, Georgia, okay, good. Georgia is DG Man 76. Thank you for when you guys have a different YouTube name. I always feel odd calling you like DG Man 76. Much more personal to say, hi, Georgia. Georgia said she loves this layout. It's not a color she would normally choose, but she loves it. I need to step out of my comfort zone. And you know what I think is, for me, what is always kind of, for me when we're making a list, it's a little bit less. I mean, if you scrapbook and if you scrapbook 12 by 12 pages, like single pages or spreads, I don't know, it always seems a little bit more of a commitment, right? But if you're just working on a little list, you use whatever you want. It's just not as much pressure, I think. All right, there we go. We good? All right, there are 3 little bumblebees. We've got quite a lot going on here, right? So I think we're probably ready to make our list. So here we go in no particular order. Shannon, yes, Shannon, I would love it. Concert is before you can tell me about the second concert. I would love it. You need to find someone who's going to the first one. I know, I kind of got to figure that out. We'll see. All right, let's keep going. So for the things on my list, best choices I've ever made. The best choices I've ever made. And you know what? It's my list. So in my opinion, these are the best choices I've ever made. Someone else might tell me differently, but for me, that's what I think. The first one is, let's see how I word this. Let's see. Deciding that my relationship with Bill was definitely over, and giving Nick a second chance. Here we are 29 years later and still going strong. So I had been dating a guy named Bill for, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 years. And I broke up with him, and very dear friends of ours set me up with Nick. Nick and I had known each other in college, but set us up. We went out on a couple dates, and I was like, I don't know 100% that my relationship is done, in fact, with Bill. So got back together with Bill. 3 weeks later went, yep, nope, I know for sure he's not the right one. And then Nick and I started dating, continued dating, I guess you should say, and been married for 29 years. 29 years on Monday. So kind of our little celebration was going to the concert last night. Jackie said, working on a new home traveler's notebook. Any advice for setting it up? I know you did a traveler's notebook when you built your house. I did, Jackie, and the very first Traveler's Notebook video I did here on my YouTube channel, like 4 years ago, is called Intro to Traveler's Notebooks. In that one, I kind of go through a little bit more in depth how I set that up. So if you want to watch that, but I would encourage anyone else who's in the chat, pipe up and maybe give Jackie some advice about how she might set up a traveler's notebook for a new home. In that, I put our house plans. I put all of our meetings with the builders. If I was sketching out how I wanted our kitchen cabinets to look, I had sketches in there. I mean, I had loads of stuff in there. So I shrunk down the plans photocopied them, shrunk them down. I don't know, however I did it, and then put them in there. So lots of different ideas, but I'd love it if you guys want to share that. All right, so that was one of my best choices. The next one was taking an internship in college with Cellular One as opposed to taking a full-time job with Ford as a traveling dealership liaison. How do I spell liaison? Liaison. I need some help, friends. How do I spell liaison? Somebody look it up for me before I finish that. Yes, so that decision is very interesting. Liaison. Okay, liaison. Liaison. Okay, so I'm seeing a couple of different versions. Liaison. Liaii. I'm going to say I have 3 people saying Liaison. Liaison. And guess what? If that's not it, well, you really won't see it at the end. But thank you guys. Yes, I think that's it. So let's come back and look at this for a second. Remember when I dropped that stamp? You can kind of see the subtle outline of where I dropped that stamp. You don't even notice it anymore, right? We don't even notice it anymore, so we're not even worried. That worked out. All right, that sent me on a path of, hi Denise, hi Susan, I think I saw Susan before. Piper Lily Journals, thank you everyone for piping in and giving me that correct spelling. That set me on a path, believe it or not, to where I am today. The job was Cellular One. A couple years later, we were bought out by AT&T. I worked for Cellular One, AT&T for 8 years. There was a guy that worked for me at Cellular One and then AT&T that we left and started up a software company, which that was crazy. That was one of those, if I knew then what I know now, but we were startup software company. We did that in 1999. We were web-based software. That was like, talk about cutting edge. That was like bleeding edge back then. But I learned, first of all, so much at AT&T and then so much in taking that route. And then after 8 years, I think, left that, went to work for Scenic Route Paper Company. So all of these things have woven me in and out of where I am today, and kind of doing my own thing. Anyhow, so that was one of the best choices I ever made. If I had taken a job, I was interviewing with Ford. Like they flew us to Detroit, had these crazy interviews in Detroit. What's that? Oh, I love it. Nick, that looks so good. Here, can I show people? Nick's been working hard over the last couple of weekends in the yard and replacing like the mulch in some of our beds with this beautiful rock. So that, you guys see that? So that's kind of the part of, entry into our house, but that beautiful rock. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. I love it. Looks so nice. I don't know if you guys can see that. Anyhow, he had to come in and show me that. But yes, that was, if I had gone to work for Ford, my whole life would have been so different. It would have been so, so different. It wouldn't be where I am today. So very happy about that choice. The next one is, this is going to sound like an interesting one. And Nick, a couple weeks ago when this was supposed to be our list on a Saturday, Nick kind of, when I'm like, what are some of the best choices? He brought this one up and I thought this was great. I never would have thought of this. He said, my agreeing to be a team mom when the boys were playing Little League. It's not Little League, whatever they call it, Little League football. It's not Little League, but when they were young. How do I say this? I had to figure out how to create the end of season movies, and it's a skill I still use. That didn't come out quite the right way, but that I had to figure out iMovie. And this was when, let's see, Sam was probably, I don't know, maybe 8. So Sam's 23. So what, 15 years ago? 15 years ago, I had to figure out and learn iMovie. And iMovie now is something that I use on a consistent basis in my business. And I am so glad I learned all of that back then, because that has been, that was a huge game changer for me, already knowing how to do all of that. So that was a good choice. And you know what? But we didn't, maybe Pee Wee, not flag football, because it was, it was with pads and everything. Pee Wee football, Pop Warner. So Scrapbook System, like Pop Warner, but they didn't call it Pop Warner here. So, or is Pop Warner baseball? Anyhow, football. When they had to play football, Little League is baseball. You know what I mean. Anyhow, but that was, and there are lots of other things that came from being a teen mom, meeting some amazing people, and being very involved in the boys' sports all through high school, because I was then on the board, the lacrosse board, the football board for high school, and that kind of started it. But there were a lot of great things that came from that. Karen, iMovie. iMovie is an Apple app that you can use to put movies together or videos together. So anything that I create that is not live, that is on YouTube, is done with iMovie. So like my Document Your Travels e-course is all done in iMovie. All right, next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next one was turning. Let's see. So making the difficult decision to leave simple stories after 6 years and turn my Lail by Mail side hustle into a full-time endeavor. I'm so thankful for family and friends encouraging me to do so. That was a rough one. That was rough. But my side hustle, my Lail by Mail side hustle, that was 5 years ago when I did that, when I made the change. But I had basically worked myself into 2 full-time jobs. My full-time job was Simple Stories, and I worked from home 4 out of 5 days a week. And if you've ever worked from home before, you know that, well, at least for me, I spent a lot more time working than your typical day. So that was full-time. And then my Lail by Mail stuff, the side hustle, had turned into almost full-time as well, and it was too much. So making that decision has led to where where I am today, which has just been amazing. All right, the last one. Moving from my yes list to the maybe list when looking for a nanny for Jack. That's how Lily came into our lives 15 years, and now 2 more with me at LBM. So Lily was our nanny. Lily worked for us from when Jack was 3 months old and I went back to work until Jack was 15 years old and Sam was 12. So like a second mother, 100% like a second mother to our boys. And at 15, when Jack was 15, that's when I went to work for Simple Stories and worked from home so I could be around the boys when they were kind of at that age. It felt like that was really important. And then 2 years ago, 2 years? I think 2 years, 2 or 3. Anyhow, I called her out of the blue and said, hey, Lily, what are you doing? Do you want to come work for me? And so she's now worked for me ever since. So that was honestly one of the best decisions. And the decision was originally she was in a maybe pile. So 26 years ago, she was in a maybe pile. When I was looking at her, or when I had called her and interviewed her on the phone, and she was in a maybe pile because she had a child. She had a little 9-month-old. And back then I was thinking, oh no, I want someone who will just be focused 100% on my child. And then I couldn't find anybody I liked in the yes pile that fit what I was looking for. So I went to the maybe pile. And Lily was the first one I talked to. And when she came to our house for an in-person interview, I opened the door and instantly knew that she was the one. And she's been such a amazing, important part of our family ever since. So very cool. So those are the best choices I have ever made. Now, just because I don't have things on there about Jack and Sam having the boys, having kids, also choice, but I don't know, choice, decision, it just different for me. So those are the things on my list. And my list is done. Oh, I've been chit-chatty, haven't I? Look at, that one was an hour and 44 minutes, but we've just been playing and having fun. So I think what I'm going to do, I have a new roller date stamp on the website. I have been looking for roller date stamps forever. They're so hard to find anymore. So I found this guy, and he's a combination of your kind of traditional roller date stamp, and then has other things that you can roll in to pair with the date, like the days of the week, date, a heart, memories to do, and then just a blank. So I am going to use this one. I have May 18th, 2024, and I'm just going to stamp that, I think, just right down here, and I will use the Hickory Smoke ink. So let's see. We will test. What? Oh, what's this guy doing? Was I going to use this guy? I think he was just left over. All right, we want to test it first. Always test, always test, always, always, always test. I think it might still have some. So what I did here, I just left the right side blank, so I only have the date. May 18th, 2024. Okay, I think we'll still see that if I put that there. It's kind of fun because it's looks like it has kind of like a Times New Roman font for the date, which is a little bit different. There we go. May 18th, 2024. And we're done. Our list is done. All right. So now we are going to just put these little guys off to the side. I'll clean those up later. Let's get our Traveler's Notebook insert out and adhere those guys. I'm going to start with the right page first because the right page is going to be a little bit easier to insert here than the left page. Again, I am towards the very end of my insert. And when that happens, things get a little bulky on the left side. So I can just adhere that like I normally would. But when it comes to the right side, I want to use a different adhesive. I'm going to use a double-sided score tape because I need to make sure that this part really adheres well because it's going to want it to, gravity's going to kind of want to lift it up. So I want to make sure that I get nice, strong adhesive along that right edge. Belinda, thank you. Yes, yes, if you guys would. If you're still here and you're watching, thumbs up, please. Thumbs up, please. I would appreciate that. That is the easiest way, easiest way that you can support any content creator that you are watching. Whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest or whatever. If you're taking the time to watch, take another 1 second and do a thumbs up. That's super helpful for people like me. All right, I am going to just reveal a little bit, maybe a third or maybe even a quarter of the adhesive here. If you've ever worked with double-sided tape or score tape, you know that it's super sticky. That's what's nice about it, right? But because it's super sticky, you basically have one shot to get it straight if you've pulled all those little protectors off, right? So I'm gonna rotate this just because it's easier for me to do it upside down because I'm right-handed. I can move this because there's just a little bit of sticky, right? So I can kind of move this until I get it where I want it to be. And then I can press it down and then pull my little tabs out. My friend Joey that works for Photo Play Paper taught me that. I think that is just genius because that gives you a little bit of wiggle room, right? Gives you a little bit of wiggle room to move things around until you get it exactly where you want it to be. All right, so there we go. There's my first list. Best choices I've ever made. And thank you to my friend Allison for sharing that list suggestion. All right, our second list. We are finishing up from the 4th. And this one is a focus update. Darla said, the tip about double-sided tape has been so useful. Thanks for showing this. I know, right? And like I said, not my tip, just a tip I'm sharing forward from my friend Joey. If you've ever worked with the Photo Play folios, where you're kind of putting it all together, all the pieces together with your double-sided tape, that's where it's like life-changing. It's a game changer for sure. All right, so our second list, we had started this last week or 2 weeks ago. This list is a follow-up to a list that we did back in February. Back in February, and this is a list that we do every year. Back in February, we did a list called Focus. And this is a list, like I said, that I do at the start, kind of start-ish of every year. I identify things that I want to focus on. So this is last year's list, but I just identify things that I want to focus on. I need to pull out this year's list. And then twice last year, I did little updates on how I was doing in terms of the things I was focusing on, okay? So here was an update, here was an update. So focus is kind of like resolutions, but not as sturdy. For me, not as stringent, I guess, right? I don't know if stringent's the right word. Let me see, that I need to find, hold on. Hold please. Where is it? Where is it? Is this it? Yes, maybe. Maybe? It is. Okay. So, my focus list for 2024. The things that I want want to focus on, we'll find it. We will find it. It has to be in here because we did it in February, I remember. Sorry, I should have had this part ready. I should have had this part ready ahead of time. Did I skip it? Oh no, this is gonna drive me nuts, friends. Okay, well this is how we find it now. We go back to the workbook and we see when it was that we did focus. Oh, here we go. We did it February 10th. So, okay, hold on. It should be, right? I am like, my mind's gonna explode. Why isn't it here? I really am very perplexed, friends, why it's not here. Would it have been, the pages would be out for some reason? I don't know. So, I need to find that, but I don't need to worry about finding it right now because here we go. These are the things I was focusing on. So I was going to show the list, but I can't because I don't know. I really don't know where it is. That's bizarre. That's going to now continue to like drive me crazy. Okay, so what we started last week. We started last week on a list of things. I know, Jennifer, did I lay it off to the side? I know, now that's where I'm like, okay, if I laid it off to the side, then where the heck is it? Because then that would be really weird. I laid it off to the side for some reason. Yeah, well, we'll find it. It'll show up. It'll show up. Let me look one more place here on my cart. You know how life works. This will be something now that for the rest of the time, I'm going to be like, where is that? Where is that? Anyhow, we did it. Okay, so things things are in focus and things that are out of focus. Okay, so there are some things on my list that I am doing well with, and some things of my list I was focusing on for the year that I'm not doing so well with. So in focus and out of focus. Those things I was focusing on, listening to my body, decluttering, focusing on my overall health, striking a balance with, now you can tell it's like in my mind now, striking a balance between my business and my personal life, spending more time outside. I think that went in with one of these, and then focusing on personal relationships. So, oh, I know, Carol, it's not in, this is, right, it's not in that idea book, because I was just showing you kind of what I've done in the past. It's this book, right? This book is, now where did it go? This one. This is 2024, right? This is 2024, isn't it? This is 2024, yeah. So it should be in here. It should be in this book because this one's 2024. The 2024 idea book isn't out yet because we're not done with 2024. Okay, in focus, out of focus. And this is how far we got last time. I had a totally different plan, and I don't even remember now what happened that made us go this direction, but whatever my plan was, we had to go a different direction. So that's where we are. I am going to outline this outer edge, and I have picked up my Zig Photo Signature marker to do this outlining here because this pattern paper is from Pretty Little Studio, and it has a little bit of a coating on it. So I'm using that Zig Photo Signature marker so that it does not smear. Now, I had not rounded. I'm glad I stopped there for whatever reason. I had not rounded these corners. You know what I think was happening, friends? I think this was, I think this list was the very end of when we were doing our International Scrapbook Day, and we'd been going about 7 hours. I think that's where who knows? Who knows? All right, there's my outlining around the outside. And we also need some outlining on the inside too. Oh no, you're good, Carol. It's totally good. It's totally good. You wouldn't, wouldn't expect you to know that. Totally wouldn't expect you to know that. Yeah, the idea books always have to be a year behind. So, like 2023 book got released in 2024 because then we have all the lists from 2023. All right, so this one I'm combining two different collections. I'm combining pattern paper from, this is the Good Vibrations collection from Pretty Little Studio. Combining that with some die cuts from the Just Beachy collection from Simple Stories. So Just Beachy is definitely like a beach collection, right? But I pulled a couple parts out that really had nothing to do with beach, thinking that I might just be able to work them in. And really it's all these beautiful florals, right? It's all these florals. So one thing that I could do, when you have a die cut that's a little bit larger, one thing that you can do is actually use part of it on one page and part of it on the other page. I mean, I wouldn't use both of those, right? But to give a little bit of consistency from one page to the other, but I don't like that. I'm gonna use this guy down here. I kind of like this little idea of using that little photos thing there, just because it's a camera and it's kind of focusing, right? But I don't want all of it. So we're gonna do this. We're just gonna start going. We're just going to start going. Hi, Julie. Nice to see you. How's the weather in the central coast of California? So even though two totally different you guys, this is interesting. Well, Terry would say not interesting at all. She would say, of course it is. Now, 3 of our lists today have yellow. I just really like yellow, I guess, don't I? I just like yellow a lot. So I'm going to move this guy maybe up a little bit higher so they're not both in the corner. And I'm taking off part of this little guy. I use those same letter scramble alpha stickers on this spread as well. I just like those. They're so easy. They're so easy to work with. Now, I need something. I don't want that photos there because the camera kind of works with in focus and out of focus, but then the fact that it says photos kind of doesn't. So I'm going to grab, let's see, word strip sticker, and I will cover that up. Was it Robin? I want to say Robin. I may be wrong. Last time, so we originally did our focus list in February, things we wanted to focus on for the year. But if you weren't with me back then or you didn't do that list, you may not already have a focus list. So what she did, instead of doing an in focus and out of focus, she did her focus list on things that she is focusing on. So if you wanted to do this, but you didn't, do it when we were back in February, your list might just be focus. How about that? Look at take risks. That works. I'm covering up the photos with that little word strip sticker that says take risks. So that totally works. Now I feel like, I don't know. I kind of feel like that little guy needs to be there too. Outlined. All right. There we go. And then we'll maybe add one more little something up here. I don't know. what if this little guy was kind of right there? Oh, I like it there. I like that. Now I need one more little thing because, oh, I don't want true color. I want just beachy. Let me see where I put just beachy. Okay, here we go. I need something else in here because I really should have, well, for me, odds, right? I like to go in odd numbers. So I need something else right there. Let's look at let's look at the sticker book. I have the sticker book out. Let's see if we could find a little something that just kind of maybe fits right in there. We may have to dig a little bit because see, definitely beachy, right? I mean, so cute. Just beachy is such a cute collection, but this has nothing to do with beach. So I need to find something that would work here. What if, I don't know, we kind of have stripes going on here already, so let's just look. Let me just lift that up a little bit and see if this guy, yeah, no, too much, right? Too much. It's too much for a couple reasons. Even if it went this way, it's too much because we already have a circle here. We have a circle here. We've got all these stripes here. So that's not it. That's not it. We'll just put it back. We have little labels, more little things. I don't think a label is right either. Although where a label could work down here. What if, okay, no. I thought I was going to like that label, but I don't like that kind of flesh tone against the white. I was thinking we could do date. All right, what about this? Oh, how about this? This says yay. What if we use yay right here? Because these are the things that are in focus. Could yay work right there? Like that? I mean, it's kind of small, but what if we found, I don't know, what if we maybe took this little guy here? What if we hid most of this underneath? Like that. And what if this said yay? Maybe there? Okay, I like that, but oopsie, we need this to go down a little bit more. This, have you guys seen this? I showed this on What's New Wednesday. This is a new little, I call it a lifting tool, but basically I can use it to, it's about 6 inches, super flexible plastic, thin at the end where I can kind of dig underneath things if I need to replace things, like pick them up. So let's get this guy here. Want this guy way underneath. He was sticking way too much. Okay, tweezers. Okay, and then we'll just do our little yay right there. How about that? That works. I think that works. And now we need to glue that guy down and then trim off the edge. Sorry, you guys totally are seeing my hair there as I'm getting close. Let's see. Hi, Tammy. Nice to see you. Hi, Belinda. You may already have the answer. It's right after your Love Is layout. It is? It is? Okay, I gotta find it now. I gotta look. Marilee. But I wonder, so 2 of you, it says love, love, love. This isn't it though. But you're saying it's right after this one? No, this isn't it. That was from February 10th. Yes, that is February 10th. So this is what happened. I know it. I know this is what happened. So this was also February. I bet it's somewhere in here. Because what happens is the pages, oh, how? You guys, how did I miss that before? How did I miss that? Anyhow, there is our focus list. This was the original focus list. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Somehow I totally missed that. Anyhow, thank you for helping me find that. I appreciate it. That was the focus list that we did this year on February 10th. Okay, so we'll come back to that. Now I need to cut these little things off the edge. That was bugging me. I'm like, did I take them out? What did I do? Was I working off them off the page? I knew I didn't work on them off the page and just didn't add them in because I stamped directly on that. All right, here we go. Now we're kicking. Now we're cooking, cooking. I don't know, whatever we're doing. We're doing something, right? We are doing something. All right, so let me get these things put away, and then we're going to talk about the things that are in focus and the things that are out of focus, and hopefully in focus again soon, right? So what's in focus? What did I say was in focus? Let's see. I mean, I know. Well, I should know, right? I should know what's in focus. Hang on. I'm just going back to my notes. Were we here? Oh, here we go. 1, 2, 4, 3, 5. All right, so the first thing that's in focus. I need my alphabet stickers again. The first thing that's in focus. Number 1 has been listening to my body. Okay? Number 1 has been listening to my body. The health issues I've had earlier this year have made me slow down and take time to rest. All right, so that I'm doing well with, listening to my body. I've never done well with that, ever in my life. But sometimes when the universe hits you upside the head, basically the universe is like, dummy, you haven't been listening to your body, so we're going to start throwing stuff at you that's going to make you listen to your body. Then you kind of have to listen. Well, I did, because it was just, I couldn't not. I couldn't not. The stuff that was going on, it wasn't an option. So even if I didn't want to, I didn't have a choice. So that was good. I'm going to do a little bit of separating there between those two. And then we'll just kind of continue that little line here. All right, number 2. What else am I in focus on? I am in focus on decluttering. Decluttering. That was the things that were on my list. Listening to my body, decluttering, focusing on personal relationships, balance, and spending time outside. So some of them bigger than the others. Some of them a lot easier to be successful in focusing on. Some of them take a little bit more work, right? But decluttering, that was another one. Decluttering. It's still a work in progress, but the things I have worked on are still decluttered. Which that's good, right? Spend a lot of time kind of decluttering things, but if you let it get back to whatever it is, then that would not be so good. It'd be a little bit more out of focus. Bonsoir, Carla, how are you? Carla, where are you from? Where are you from, Carla? All right. There is another thing on my list that I am in focus on. So it was number 4. So I think probably what I'll do, kind of if we reference that, number 4 the fourth thing. So I'm going to put a 4 here, even though that may seem a little odd. I'm going to put my 4 here because there were 5 things. 1, 2, and 4 are I'm doing well with, right? Progress, which is good. Progress doesn't have to be perfect, right? Progress. Progress is good. 4 is balance. Balance. Having Denise working for me along with Lily. So Denise started the beginning of the year, has been a game changer and allowed me to have more me time. And also had a huge part to do with listening to my body because this took so much stress off of me that I was able to focus on that and listen. So that's good. All right. Have you guys been focusing? Did you set out at the beginning of the year to focus on things, anything? And if so, how's that going? Even if you weren't listing it, how's it going? How's it going? Because now we're going to get to the 2 that still need some work. That still need some work. 3 and 5. 3 and 5. Which is interesting. Hiccups. Which is interesting because 3 actually in the last 2 weeks is definitely gotten better because I have kind of changed my focus. So, personal relationships. Although I haven't focused on proactively reaching out and spending more time with family and friends. I am doing better with it. Still room for improvement. I still work a lot. And I'm not very good at proactively reaching out to my mother to get together and do things, and to some of my girlfriends. It's fine with Nick. It's great with the boys, but well, especially with Sam because he comes over a couple times a week. But I'd say the last 2 weeks I'm doing better with that, but still lots of room for improvement. Lots and lots and lots of room for improvement. All right, the last one. This one has been an epic fail. Epic fail. And it's going to sound so silly. Spending time outside. I love to be outside. It makes, and as I'm listing, I'm just, I know it's spending time outside, but then I'm just writing. I don't have this pre-written out or anything. I'm just kind of off the top of my head. It makes me feel alive. I know that. Yet, sometimes days will go by and I have not left the house. That one is totally, I mean, all of these are in my power, right? All of these are totally in my power of what I want to spend time on and dedicate time on. And so that should be an easy one, right? I mean, hello, go outside. That's easy. Lil, go outside. Just Lil, go outside. We did actually on Thursday night, Nick and I sat out on our back patio and it was lovely. And I can't use weather as an excuse. I mean, I have coats and boots, although it's beautiful. In the wintertime, I could try to use that as an excuse. So that one is silly. It just needs to change. It needs to change. So I have all the power to do that. And I just need to do it, right? I just need to do it. So this guy, I think we might need maybe a little snarky over here. Maybe a little snarky. I wonder, let's look. Let's look. Maybe look, I could have used my little thumbs down stamp. I'm going to pull out the Bad Day stamp set. This is a brand new stamp set. My stamps, the May release went up for pre-order on May 3rd, and they've always been scheduled to ship this coming week. So my manufacturer shipped those to me on Thursday, this past Thursday. So these are arriving this coming week, which is the week of May 20th. This one is called Bad Day. All right, so I'm thinking, what about if I have lots of different things I could say here, but maybe here if I write hang in there. What if we write hang in there? Because I think hang in there, right? My out of focus, I can do a hang in there. I probably could have also stamped something up there instead of the yay. That would have worked, but I didn't. All right, we're gonna do hang in there. I think really what I wish I had done was not put my little smiley, my little sad face right there. So we're gonna fix that. I think, because I'd like to have my little hang in there right there. So I'm going to go to my little bin of label stickers. And let's see what might work here. I kind of need a bigger one, and the blue doesn't really work. I need one of those big ones that I would really like to use. So let's look and keep seeing what I have. A lot of my labels come from Pretty Little Studios. So typically they do their labels, little label die cuts with all of their collections, and so I always have those. What if we used, let's see, because I think one of these little ones could work. We could take a little pink. We have a little bit of orange over here. Maybe, what if we did this? So here's the nice thing. Let's say we want to try that label. Because it is separate and it's a die cut, I can just stamp on it and then we can lay it there and see if we like it. If we don't like it, then we just don't put it there. So let's see. Let's see. Wanda, do you get that? Not going outside, is that what you were saying? Not going outside? All right, so we will do it right there. Let's test this out though. I've got so much stuff out on my little work surface here. We want to test it first. So let's go ahead and test this. First we'll test it. Hang in there, right? Hang in there. Just hang in there. Always opportunity to improve. So if my hang in there goes like that. And let's see, because this would basically just tuck right under here. We just need to lift that up a little bit. Let's see how this does. We need to cut some of this off. Those little eyes are in the way. My little eyes. I think that works. We're just going to do it. It works. It'll work. Hang in there from that Bad Day stamp set. There's also an all smiles stamp set because, you know, you got to have the plus and the minus, the good and the bad. The bad day is a little tongue in cheek. There's some really fun things on there. There's a couple swear words. If swear words aren't your thing, then you don't have to use them. But sometimes it calls for a swear word, right? Okay, there we go. I think we're good. I think we are done. Wanda said, yes, not going outside. I just feel like the day isn't long enough anymore. LOL. Yeah. I mean, and because I, you know, work from home, my business is my home. You know, it's definitely a lot easier to go outside if you are working outside the home because you kind of have to leave every day, right? But I don't. And sometimes I get up and don't even shower and I'm starting working. And then the next thing you know, I'm like, oh. And then I get weird. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't showered. And what if I go outside for a walk and I run into one of my neighbors and they're like, oh my gosh, look at you haven't showered. And just ways, I guess, of talking myself out of going outside. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a recluse, but no, there's nothing wrong with that if you are. But yeah, just sometimes it just doesn't happen. This guy needs a little bit of, he was floating around, this was floating around on my table for a couple of days. And so it's, a little guy needs a little bit of extra stick on him. Because he's wanting to move. All right. Oh, that's nice, Mizelle. The president of our company used to let us have department meetings outside. It was so nice, right? All right, so let's go ahead now and put these 2 pages in. Back in, oh, we need our date. So date-wise, maybe let's just do this right here. This is May 2024. So what do you say we commit to doing another update on our focus list in the next couple of months? And I will focusing on those other 2 things that I really need to, like I said, the personal relationships. I did last Saturday. We also went looking again for the Northern Lights because you know, they thought that you'd see them maybe on Saturday night too. So we had my mom and her friend go with us, and then a couple of other friends, and that was good. Reached out there and said, hey, we're doing this if you want to do this with us. And then on actually this morning, reached out to my friend Karen and said, hey, you and Carrie want to come over tonight? Whoopsie, for like heavy appetizers and cocktails on the patio. And so that's good. Just one of those things that, you know, got to focus on. And it's important. So I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. Yeah. Had to look at that again to see. All right, so again, I am using the double-sided score tape on the left-hand page because it's got to make sure to like follow that curve because it's a little bulky. So I am just revealing maybe a quarter of the sticky. And then you'll see I leave those little tabs like out to the side. Those are going to be my little pull tabs. So this will go in here and I'll get this in to where I can see that it's kind of where I want it to be, but I can totally move this around because I only have sticky on part of it, right? And then I just do my little pull tab like so. All right, there's our second list, friends. There is our second list. Second list is done. Where's Reggie? You know, I don't know, Wanda. He's not in here. I'm not sure where he is. I'd ordered some like clear plastic containers to organize one of our closets, to declutter one of our closets. And it came in a giant box from Amazon. And so Nick this morning was opening it and you know, took all the things out of the giant box. And then he made he taped up the box and then cut a little small hole in it for Reggie. So Reggie was very much enjoying himself in like hiding in that box earlier. So he could be in there. I know usually when I'm listing, he's in here with us, right? He's usually in here with us. All right, let me just take a second and pick up a bunch of this clutter, and then we'll move on to our next list. Our next list, let's talk about it while I'm doing this, is in the news. So in the news is a list that we also do on a monthly basis. So about last month we do on a monthly basis. We do it today looks like this, or a what a day on a monthly basis. We do in the news on a monthly basis. So in the news, a couple things about in the news. In the news, when I do it in the news list, it is just the facts. And I ask that everyone in the chat leave it to just the facts. So if you're talking about in the news and you want to say, oh, did you know that? Whatever it is, there you go. That's just the facts. But as soon as we start saying, and this is how I felt about it, or and this was bad, or and this was good, then we're adding commentary that we really don't want to be adding when it comes to news. Because news can be very political, it can be very polarizing, it can be very divisive. So mine aren't, well, I don't know, I was going to say mine aren't divisive at all today, but you never know because it could be divisive to someone. So everything I will be talking about, just the facts. This list for me today is going to be totally different than I normally do in the news list. Hi, Annie Brown. Nice to see you. It's just after 6 a.m. here on Sunday morning. Annie, are you Australia, New Zealand? One of the two, I would imagine, yes. If it's 6 a.m. Nice to have you from the other part of the world. Okay, so my in the news. In the Facebook group, the Lael by Mel Facebook group, and if you're not in the Lael by Mel Facebook group, there's a Facebook page and a Facebook group. The Facebook group is private. New Zealand, lovely, lovely. The Facebook group is private. So all you have to do is go to Facebook and search Lael by Mel. You'll see a Facebook page, which is public, a Facebook group, which is private. If you'd like to be part of the group, just, click whatever button that says I want to be in or whatever it says. And then I will let you in. It's just to keep the nefarious folks from being in. People that want to spam us about, I don't know, whatever they want to spam us about. Okay, had to have a sip. In the Facebook group, I have pinned to the top, there's a lot of different things pinned to the top, but one is a link to a list of news sources that I put together. And they cover the entire spectrum, some very left-leaning, some very right-leaning, some very centric. I tried to cover as many bases as I could. For the most part, they are emails that you can subscribe to, and they're all free. You just go to the website and say, put your email in, and then they'll send you news updates on a frequent basis, whatever that is based on the news source. But that is in a lot of cases where I get my news. I watch the Today Show every morning when I'm getting ready. I'm definitely a Today Show person and not a Good Morning America person. Or CBS News This Morning or whatever they are. Anyhow, Today Show's my thing. Sometimes hearing on the radio, just all different news sources, right? But throughout the month, I keep a running note on my phone of all the things that happen. And then, like this morning, I sat down and I transfer those things from my phone to my list right here in my little workbook. Normally, when you look at in the news lists, I'll talk about these little stickies here in a minute. So I'm in the first idea book in the news, page 48. Normally, my in the news lists have lots of photos. So lots of photos about different things that are happening in the world. Like in August 2022, Olivia Newton-John died. The FBI raided Mar-a-Lago. So I'm pulling photos from from Google. Gas price dropped. Alex Jones. Monkeypox. Just all different kinds of things. So I'm having lots of different photos. And I'm listing a lot of different things that happened in the news. And so if you were to look back the last couple of years at my in the news lists, they all kind of follow that same thing where there are multiple photos and I'm listing a lot of things that happened in the news. All right. So Today I decided to break it up a little bit. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I have a photo that has 2 photos on it. So my list is only going to have 2 things, even though there's a lot more things that happen in the news in April. Like all of these things happen. Well, lots more, right? But there were a lot of things. But I started thinking I'd like to do something a little bit different this time. And what would that look like? So that's what I am doing. Hang on, my little thing here is bugging me. Gotta fix it. Okay, I think I fixed it. So I'm only using 2 photos and there's only 2 things on my list. And these are really not political, nothing really that happened in the world. They're related to entertainment. They're related to entertainment. So in the month of April, for female artists, 2 things happened that were pretty big. Number 1, Beyonce, and I gotta word this the correct way. She was the first Black woman to come in at number 1 on the top country albums chart ever. So that was kind of a big deal in that world, right? And then Taylor Swift released not 1, but 2. She did a double album drop in April. So I thought, you know what? Those 2 have something in common. That would be that's like entertainment news, would be a totally different way to do my news list this month. So that is what I'm doing. This is a single photo. It is a 5x7 photo. I used the Epson PictureMate PM400 printer to print this out. I used that with the Epson Creative Print app on my phone. The Epson Creative Print app is a very cool app because it has a whole bunch of pre-configured templates. So when we go back to all of those different in the news lists, for example, you'll see I have photos that have more than 1 photo on them, right? Lots of different configurations of photos. Those are all 1 photo with multiple photos on them. So that Epson Creative Print app, those are templates. Like it says, this is a 5x7. It has photo. You pick whatever template it is, and then you just push your photos in from your camera roll within that app. Super fun to use, super easy to use. But that is the printer, the Epson PictureMate PM400, paired with the Epson Creative Print app that I use to print 99% of the photos that you see me use in my Traveler's Notebook spreads. Linked in the description box of the video, link to that printer itself, and then also link to a video that I created showing you how to use that app and all the little ins and outs and really cool tricks that make it really easy to use. So that is what I am that's my focus, just these 2 photos this month. So I pulled out some products. I got it, Colleen, 1234. Thank you. I pulled out some products from one of Vicky's new product sets, I guess, if you will. These all fall under what's called a mixed media collection, although these things really have nothing to do with mixed media, as we would think about them in terms of like wet mediums and things like that. She released, and I think these are just brilliant, and I've been so excited about them, 4 different themed packs. First of all, that pack is 11 inches long. There are this one happens to be the artist pack. So I'm going to use this artist pack in my next list. But I brought this one package up so you could see it. 325 pieces in there. There are washi stickers, so 10 sheets of washi stickers, tons of die cuts, and then acetate pieces too. So these are awesome. And these, in my mind, these are like a best of. There are 4 themes. There's an artist. There is a nature. There is a, this one is nature. This one is called Old Soul. And the last one is called Travel. So these are like best ofs. They have taken a bunch of Vicky's artwork and kind of put them into different little themed packs. They're amazing. I did a kind of a What's New Wednesday this past week on all 4 of them. So if you go to my website and look for those packs, you'll see the I don't know if they're done yet. Those might not be parsed out until earlier this coming week. Anyhow, they're pretty awesome. They really are pretty awesome. So I'm going to use, I pulled pieces out of the nature pack for this list. This is what I pulled out of the nature pack. That kind of library card, this little cluster of flowers, and this ruler. All right. What I thought I would do really quickly, these pieces in varying formats and varying collections have been out for a while, but they've never been like put together in these best of packs. So this morning I went through and looked at the idea book from the original idea book from 2020, 2021, and 2022 and pulled out all of the lists. I need to add these to the website. Pulled out all of the lists where I have used different parts of pieces that now you can find in these packs. So they like brought them back. So for the nature pack, this was a list that I did back in November of 2021 where I would have used pieces that may have come from that nature pack. So that's what I'm using here. In this one, pieces from that nature pack. So it's really fun that they've kind of brought back the best ofs. Now, there's no paper in those collections, in these little, well, they were back in the day, but there's no paper in these little like embellishment packs, right? So what I did, I went through some of my other paper collections and easily found things that would coordinate with these colors. So all three of these happen to come from the True Colors collection from Simple Stories. So that's my plan for this list. And I'm using parts from that nature pack. So with that said, 2-page list. This guy, usually, this one is going to go right here, but I need to, we'll come back to this for a minute because I'm not sure if I want to put a pattern paper there yet. I think I'll do this whole side and then we'll come over here. So, I'm thinking it may be this as my background. It'll either be on one side or the other. So I'm gonna come in here and trim this down to 4 3/4. So here's a little bit. This is kind of our second list where we have been kind of mixing and matching collections, right? This list we used embellishments or stickers and die cuts from Just Beachy, and we used pattern paper from Pretty Little Studio, Good Vibrations. And here we're using die cut ephemera pieces from the Nature Mixed Media Pack and pairing that with papers from Simple Stories True Colors. All right, so sometimes when I do, and in the news list, I like to use a typewriter stamp. So I'm going to move these little guys off to the side. I'm going to get my little die cut machine out here because we're going to die cut we'll stamp the stamp and then we'll die cut the stamp. I know it's another yellow, right, Nancy? 3 of them. 3 of our list today have yellow. That was not intentional. Well, this one was already from last week. I guess the other 2 are intentional. Anyhow, embrace the yellow. Embrace the yellow. And of course, if yellow isn't your thing, you just use whatever you want. Use whatever you have. All right, so I have my little die cut machine out. I have my plates. Let's plug this guy in. Let's plug us in over, excuse my reach, please. There we go. All right, I need some white pattern paper. I need some white paper. I think I'm going to stamp my typewriter first in white. So I have a lot, or on white, there's a lot of black over here and I'm bringing in color. So I think I will stamp this in black. Now, there are 2 versions now of the typewriter. So originally, the typewriter, this was one of probably within the first dozen stamp sets I ever released. the original in the new stamp set. So it's a 5x7 stamp set with that typewriter, and then all kinds of other things that could go with and in the news type list. So this was out for a long time. And then I released in March the die, right? The coordinating die. Oh, there it is. I'm like, where did it go? I released the coordinating die that now goes with that typewriter. But I had a feeling that maybe I should release the typewriter on a new stamp set, because I think, and I was right, I had a feeling that there were people that never bought the typewriter because it was part of an in the news stamp set that they would really never use. Because if you don't list with me or you don't do news lists, then you would never really use that. So as part of the May release, one of the new stamps in the May release is called Just My Type. So it is that same typewriter, exact same size, exact same artwork, so it works with that new typewriter die, but it has all these fun little sayings that can go with the typewriter. You're my type of friend, happy birthday, another year older, you're not old, you're vintage, congratulations, thinking of you. So great for card making. Same exact stamp. Well, the typewriter is. So I am just going to pull out that stamp. I store all of my stamps in my stamp storage sleeve. So that's just a 4x6. And I have those in 3x4, 4x6, 5x7, and 6x8. But what you just saw me do there, I take the stamp and I cut a piece of cardstock that's the same size as the stamp. And that's how they get stored. So they get stored like that. And I put that cardstock there for a reason. Because you have the plastic cover sheet on the stamp, and then you have the plastic material of a stamp storage sleeve. Sometimes that plastic sticks to each other and makes it hard to get that out. So when that happens, I just take that little white cardstock, pull it out of the back, put it in the front, and then that releases it. So if you've watched me do that and been like, what the heck is she doing? That's what I'm doing. All right, so here we have this stamp. I seem to be in the habit of stamping first and then die cutting. I don't think it matters. It's a personal preference. You either stamp first and then die cut, or die cut and then stamp. Either way. Either way it works. There's no right or wrong with that. Here's my stamping block. So I am going to line that typewriter up on my stamping block. And I'm going to get my ink, all right, get my little ink out here. And like I said, I'm going to do black on white. So I just want to get that nice and inked up. This typewriter, I've loved this typewriter. That's, I had my friend Andy K. Art way back when I first started releasing stamps, and she was doing all of my artwork. So she drew that typewriter. So it's kind of fun. Okay. And here we're going to stamp it. Now, if you have a stamp and you use that stamp quite often, like in this case, maybe you want to stamp a whole bunch of typewriters on this sheet. So you're doing all your stamping at once, you're doing all your die cutting at once. So the next time when you need a black and white typewriter stamp or die cut, you just have them ready to go, right? But I'll just do one right now. All right, we want to get that nice and, oh, it's so pretty. Nice and crisp. Look at that. It's beautiful. All right, so let's clean this guy off and we'll put him away. But whether you have the original in the news stamp set that has the typewriter on it, or you're ordered, because this one starts shipping next week as well, the Just My Type, that fun little die works perfectly with both of them. Jennifer said she can't wait to get her typewriter die. She said she should have it on Monday. It's just fun. It's just fun. Now, you don't have to have dies, right? Dies just make your life a little bit easier. Because I could fussy cut that. I could just as easily fussy cut around that, but makes it a little bit easier. My little die cut machine. So I'm just going to cut this little guy out here. like so. And then, if you've never used a die cut machine, you're basically making a sandwich. So my bottom plate and my top plate are like my bread. There's my Wonder Bread or wheat bread or rye bread, whatever it is. That's on the bottom. My sandwich in the middle. Let's say this is my bologna, ham, whatever. That's my bologna. That one goes down next, like that. And then this is kind of my cheese, okay? This would kind of be my cheese. So I'm gonna lay this down here. And then this is the lettuce, okay? I don't know, I'm making my sandwich, right? This is a magnetic mat. So when I lay my die down, it is not gonna move around too much on me, which is nice. So let me kind of move this around to get it where I think it looks good. Like that. And then I put the top of my sandwich on. I've turned my machine on. This is an electronic machine. So all I have to do is do that and hit run. And it is taking that sandwich through the machine. The machine applies a lot of pressure. So when it's applying that pressure, it is cutting out that, oopsie, I didn't quite get that little edge cut. It is cutting out my little typewriter. Just a little, it just didn't quite go through the edge there for some reason. There we go. All right, so metal dies, kind of fun. And I also store those in my stamp sleeves, and that's just on a piece of little magnetic piece. Okay, so there we go. Let's put this little guy away. At least get it off to the side for now. Whoopsie. Pardon my reach. All right. Oops. I'm just knocking everything over here as I reach. Question, Stacy said, do you only use the black Versacolor ink? I got the black Versacolor ink and it works so well. I was thinking about getting other colors. Stacy, I do. I only use that VersaFine Clair, the Nocturne. That's all I use because I, by far, hands down, for me personally, I think that is the best black out there. It's just always so nice and crisp. But when it comes to other ink colors, I really like the Distress Oxides. So I kind of just stick to the Distress Oxides. And that's just me. That's just me. All right, so what I was thinking is this could kind of be my list coming out of the typewriter. Now, this is a little bit too wide. So I just need to narrow it down a little bit. I love the color of this, and I love that, ooh, just a tad there. I love the color of this. And I love library cards, but you may also know that there's a reason why I designed my own library card stamp. Because, let me just pull it out really quick, in case you don't know what it is. Where is it? Here we go. These get used a lot for classes, so actually let me take one of these out so you can really see what it looks like. There we go. I designed this particular stamp, same size as a regular library card, but this is why I designed it, because normally I don't want all those things on there, like the author, title, all of that, right? Kind of gets in the way. Colleen, do your metal dies come with a magnetic sheet? Colleen, they do not. They don't come with a magnetic sheet. I buy my magnetic sheets just off of Amazon, and I believe I've linked them in the description box of the video down below. I will double check, but I'm pretty sure I put them down there after last time when somebody asked. Now, what's so awesome about this? Two totally different collections, two totally different manufacturers. This one over here, this paper is True Colors from Simple Stories. That library card is coming from Vicki Boutin's Nature Pack. And look at that color, kind of that pink blush color, works so well. So this will be my list. My little typewriter is going to be down here. Now, this guy, I really liked this. And it's a lot, right? It's a lot. But I thought maybe what I could do is just have Just a little, maybe half of this on this piece. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's get all of these pieces ready. Get our adhesive on here. Same thing there. And I might as well get this part of this. We know we just are going to have a little part of it. So we'll just get some on there. All right. Let's take this guy. I needed to be a little bit more to the left. So we had a little bit more room over here. So it's almost like it's just a little typewriter is typing our list, or it's holding that paper or whatever it is. Right, then this guy, we just want a little bit of a, maybe just a little bit of a decoration in the edge of our typewriter, like that. So all of this that's now bleeding off the edge, this I could use in a couple of different ways. Probably should have just put this in the trimmer, would have been easier. All right. So if, let's say, the second part of my list is going to go over here, like that, it would probably be like this. So if I wanted, I probably could have that go there. Now, I don't know, that's kind of a lot, right? It's kind of a lot. Let's play with it a little bit and see what happens. This is the right side of my list, so it is also 4 3/4. So here's my 4 3/4 by 7. What I could do, I could actually make this. What if we made this? If I cut more off the edge, what if we made this like 4 1/2? Let's see what happens. If we were to do this, if we got to play with this a little bit and see if this is maybe right justified, and this little guy comes here. That could work. I totally think that could work. We can still pretty much see that says Tortured Poets Department. I like it. We're going to do it. So on one of our lists, our last list that we worked on, this one, In Focus. The very beginning when I was kind of putting some of the floral clusters around, and I said, oh, sometimes you can, if you have a larger floral cluster, you can put it in the middle and in half on one page and half on the other. That's basically what we're doing here now, right? We're going to, that's a pretty large piece, really kind of big, working in a little bit of a smaller format here for us, like a traveler's notebook. So if we put part on one page and part on the other page, then it lets us still use the full piece, but it's not, as much on one side. Because if I tried to put that whole piece on one side, that would be a lot, right? That would kind of be a lot. Okay, there we go. My 2-page list. All right, we still have some work to do. Let's round the corners. Let's round the corners. And you're like, what about this even says news? Well, we'll get there. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll get there. Oh, I remembered now. I remembered. I was thinking about, I don't know, I probably don't need to do this anymore. I mean, that doesn't need to say Tortured Poets. So originally I was thinking, long before this was going to be over here, in my little sketch in my mind, it was going to be, I was going to have that little pink ruler there in the middle, but I don't need it anymore, right? I don't need it anymore because now I have all of this over here. So my little pink ruler could just be used for something else later. No, we don't need it. I think it's just good that way. Like it could go down here, but I really don't think we need it, right? No, I like it there. We're going to put it there. Excuse me, we're still going to use it. Ah. There. All right. Hi, Stephanie. So every so often you guys say, hey, do some lists on how we can mix and match collections. So this is probably the easiest way to start by doing that, is to take embellishments or die cuts or stickers from one and then find paper from another one that coordinates. So that's kind of like the most basic way to do that. Oh, Lil. That's kind of the most basic way to do that. I just got a little too much adhesive. Got too high. Most basic is paper from one collection and embellishments from another. That's a pretty easy way to do it. And then from there, you could start mixing and mixing and matching embellishments from one collection to the other. Okay. So if you've just joined us, or if you haven't, you've been here a little bit, but just kind of, I am to the point in my Traveler's Notebook insert where I'm almost done. So I'm at the very end of the insert. And when it gets to that point, it gets a little bit harder to work on the pages directly in the insert because of this. There's so much happening right here. So I get to the point where I start working off the page. And then when we are done, I'll just go back and add it back in. All right, so now is where we have to kind of make it all come back together related to the news, right? Whoopsie. So, oopsie, if we pull in one of our in the news stamp sets. So let's look. In the news. Pull this guy out. This is in the news too. So there's an in the news. In the news has that original typewriter on it. And now in the news too. In the news too came out, I don't know, last year sometime. Just because I felt like we do this list every month. Do I need something new and different to work with? So we have in the news could go right there. We have in the news could go right there. I feel like we need something to kind of fill that area. So just the facts. I think it's going to be this guy, this in the news, like that. But then I think I might want something to go in front of it or behind it, like maybe a little newspaper. All right, so what if we do this? In the news and this little newspaper. And I feel like maybe in the news should go here. And then this little newspaper maybe there, like that. Or, I don't know, maybe this way. Probably should be that way. Like that. All right, let's do it. Does that fit? It does. All right, let's do this little guy first. I'm going to grab a smaller stamping block. I am a firm believer in having the right size tool for the job, especially when it comes to stamping blocks. The smaller the stamping block, the better. So instead of using that large stamping block and I have all this extra space, I've gone with a right-sized stamping block, so it fits the stamp. I just find it makes it a lot easier to stamp because you don't have all this extra kind of weighing down and trying to figure out the right amount of pressure. So that's what we're going with, this little guy. This comes in a set of 2. Those are my little, I don't know, I guess it's a set of 2 round acrylic stamping blocks, I think. Anyhow, let's look at this guy. So there's my little typewriter. That's my little newspaper. So little newspaper is going to go, I think I'd like to do it here at an angle, a little bit of an angle. There's the newspaper. And then we will do this little guy in the news. Okay. Let's put in the news right here. In the news. All right, now I'm thinking that maybe if we do, last month was April, right? Last month was April. So what if we come back in with black. And maybe I just put April in there. Sometimes I say what month it is, sometimes I don't. But if we do, I don't know. I'm just gonna try this and see if I might like this taller one to go in here. Hi, Stephanie, thank you. Stephanie said, hope you're feeling better. Yes, much better. Okay, so if I do this, let's just pretend. If I do April, it's going to help to cover up a bunch of those words that don't necessarily apply here, right? Let's keep going and see what we think. I think now I've used these letters on all 3 lists today, haven't I? And these are just the letter scramble from Bella Boulevard. April. Sure, I think that works. In the news, April. And then maybe, let's look at this little tiny dot here. Let me see if I can get that to pop out. In the news, April. Yeah, I think it totally works. All right, so basically I have 2 things. There's 2 things on my list for in the news, April. 1 and 2. And this is very much a change from how I would normally do this list. Normally, I've got loads of things on this list and lots of different photos. This month, I decided to totally change it up. And I'm just basically kind of just talking about entertainment news, right? And this is Beyonce and Taylor Swift. Beyonce and Taylor Swift. So, what I don't remember is I'm Googling friends. Somebody Google and tell me the name of Beyonce's album, her country album that she released. Because I did not write that down, and I think I would like to add that. Or maybe you might already even know, and you can just tell me. Beyonce's album, her country western album, her country album. I don't know, do people say country western anymore? Her country album. What is it? What is it? I know you guys are out there because I can see. I can see that you're out there. I know it. And I can't stop and Google because I'm filming on my phone. Cowboy Carter, Ms. L, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, Cowboy Carter and Ann B, and now we're going to see 1,000 Cowboy Carters. Thank you. Thank you, Wanda. No, they just say country. Okay, Crafty. The country, not country western, just country. Just country. Okay, so I am saying that Beyonce is the first Black woman to come in at number 1 on the top country albums chart with Cowboy Carter. Okay, there's number 1. Number 2, Taylor Swift released a double album drop with the Tortured Poets Department. All right, easy, done. That's it. That is it. I'm leaving it that way. I'm not going to add anything else. So totally different type of in the news list than I normally do, right? A lot of times it's heavy, right? A lot of times news is really heavy. And you know what? April was no different. There were lots of really heavy news things happening in our world. And I thought this month it might be fun just to kind of shake it up a little bit. So there we go. It could be your news list. Maybe you do in the news every month. Maybe it's just entertainment news, or maybe it's news in the world of dogs, or I don't know, right? I think in the Westminster dog show earlier this month, that could be on your in the news list for May. Westminster Dog Show and the poodle one. And what was really cool about that story was that I saw an interview with, I think on the Today Show, with the trainer, the handler, I don't know what they call them, handler or trainer, that he's been competing in that show for years and years and years. And this was his last show. He decided, you know what? Where's my double-sided tape? He decided, I'm done. This is my last show. Whatever happens, happens. And he won, which, you know, you have to feel good for him. That's good for him. Oh, goodness. Where did my double-sided tape go? Did I put it on the floor? Oh, come on. Did I put it away? Handler. Thank you. Yeah, see, I thought handler was in my head. I didn't think I put it away. I'm so good. I put it away. Didn't think it was a trainer, a handler. Miniature poodle. Yeah, that was just kind of a cool story, right? So here's the other thing is if you decide you want to do an in the news type list, it could always be good news. Well, I don't know, unless maybe you're not a miniature poodle fan and maybe you were rooting for another dog, so maybe it wouldn't be, good news. But not all of, if you do in the news or want to do in the news, you get to decide what goes on your list, like all of our lists, right? You're the boss of you, you do you get to decide what goes on your list and what doesn't. So maybe you're just doing lists about things that are good news. All righty. So we're going to go ahead and get this added, and then we will move to our last list. We're going to have 4 done today. 4 lists done today. All right, and then it'll be time to go eat lunch. And then go check out all the awesome rocks that Nick's putting in. Can't wait to see those. That picture that he brought in was so fun. Well, as fun as rocks can be, but I was very excited about it. I am. All right, here we go. There is our in the news for April list. All right. So our last list, our number 4 list for today is, hey, that's pretty good, you guys. We've done 3 lists in 3 hours, even though the first one took 2 hours, just about 2 hours. So the best choices I've ever made, in focus, out of focus, and then in the news April. So our last list, isn't that funny? I couldn't even tell you what it is. I don't remember. Our last list is, oh yes, Wanda. Are you still here, Wanda? I hope so. So this is a list that it's called You Might Be Old If. You Might Be Old If. Oh, I just remembered. I was going to, isn't that funny? I was going to use Reggie Alpha to stamp number 1 and number 2 because it's so similar to those, those letters. Not using Reggie Alpha. You're out, Reggie. Sorry. You are out. Reggie's out. All right. You might be old if. Okay, so Wanda had posted a really fun graphic in the Lail by Mail Facebook group maybe about a month ago, I want to say. And I commented on it again this morning, so it would kind of bump up to the top if you wanted to reference the list. But it was a really fun graphic that said you might be old if, and there were a whole bunch of things listed on there. And there was so much interaction on that post that Wanda did. People saying, oh my gosh, yes, all of these, every single one on this list. I think there were like 22 or 24. People were like, every single one of these I hit. Other people were like, I hit everyone except for MySpace. I never did MySpace, but everything else on that You Might Be Old list totally applies to me. So it was very fun. So I thought that would be a really fun idea if we did a You Might Be Old If list. And again, you get to decide what is on that list. If you're looking for some ideas, there may be some things on that list that you go, oh yeah, totally. There are some things that I pulled from that list that are on my list, and then there are some things that I pulled from my own head that are on my list. So You Might Be Old If. This is a 2-page list. Here is my, yes, Wanda, there were a ton of people that commented on it. That was so fun. Crafty, if you walk to school, right? If you walk to school. So if you're still here and you're hanging out with us live in the chat, pop into the chat and tell us, you might be old if, and then fill in the blank. What would be one of your You Might Be Old Ifs? Here's my little sketch. It's just very, I don't know. So what I want to show you here, I am going to use another one of Vicky's, the new mixed media embellishment packs. This one I'm going to use is Artist. All right, so the last one I used some pieces from Nature. This one I am using pieces from Artist. So all of that awesome, amazing, beautiful color. Some of the artwork in here is from the, oh my gosh, I totally just drew a blank. Color Kaleidoscope? Was that it? Color Kaleidoscope collection, but beautiful, super fun, bright, vibrant, so vibrant. And I love that collection so much when it came out. I thought this was quite amusing when I went and looked, when I looked earlier through the original idea book of all the places I used that in a list. So I'm going to go back to that product on the website and add all of these photos so you can see if you're trying to look for ideas for that product. But here is one of my About Last months back in 2021 using that really fun camera and that little daisy. Here is another one. This was About Last month, April 2022, using Love This Day and a flower and a little car. I didn't realize how much I had used that collection until I started looking today. Right here, this one, my most used phone apps, that little Good and that little viewfinder reel. This one, binged series. So different TV series that I binged. This one, memorable ad slogans and iconic TV movie lines. Both products from her Color Kaleidoscope collection, but then now kind of made a reappearance as a best of in that Artist Ephemera pack. But so this is just to me personifies Vicky. If you know Vicky and you know her personality, just these colors. There's another one, things I do really well using pieces. This guy, favorite smells, that really fun little rainbows from that. Let's see, one more. Oh, that was the one that was using nature pieces. Anyway, so much fun stuff in there. So I have not picked out anything yet from this pack. So I'm going to open it up. Kind of that's what the pieces that we're looking for. I don't know what happened to the backer because usually in here I put the backers so that I can just look at the back and go, oh yeah, that's what I want to use. But what I thought I would do here, this is page 36 in the idea book. I don't normally do a spread like this, but I thought it might be kind of fun because there's so many great pieces in that artist pack that I might be fun to kind of do something like this, where it's really kind of icon heavy, and then I'm doing my little title down here, and then things kind of up and around here. So that's kind of what I'm going for on this list, kind of the design. We'll see if it works out like that. We'll see if it works out like that. Rotary phone. Yes, you had to be in the house when the first street light came on, used a typewriter. Libby said she competed in a typing contest because she typed so fast when MTV had music videos. You played outside till the streetlights came on. Nancy, black and white TV, scrapbook system, right? So fun. Used a typewriter, rotary phone. Just looking at some more. Use a TWX or telex machine. Ms. L, I don't even know. What is that? Tell us what that is. I don't know. If you spend more time looking for your phone than using it as a phone. Susan, your TV only had 3 to 4 channels, right? Stacy said she's finding Vicky's new 4-packs. The die cuts are scaled larger, which I love. Yes, in some cases, the die cuts are larger. Used a phone book, right? Only AM radio stations, right? So you might be old if. Now, what's interesting, like Tabitha, I don't know if Adeline is still there, if your daughter is still with you, but if she was even mentally making a list like this, or you guys were chatting, she would have entirely different things on her list, right? Totally, because she's 11, 12, I think, 12 or 13, right? Susan, Susan said you might be really old if you saw the Beatles live in concert on their USA tour. Did you, Susan? Do you know who else did? I don't know if it was in the US, but Colleen Battersby did. She saw Beatles, which is really cool. Used a TV guide. Yes, totally. TV guide. Remember a TV guide? Remember twisting the antenna to get better at reception on the TV? Worked at a job without a computer, right? So this is kind of fun, right? Lots of fun, different things that would be on your list, and the list could be different from everybody, right? Oh, Tabitha, right? Adeline, who's 12, says Facebook is for oldies. So on Adeline's list, she would say, you might be old if you use Facebook. I love it. That's so fun. So fun. All right. And this is the kind of thing, we have fun, or I have fun doing this and making lists, right? But this would be a great conversation starter. Maybe you're having dinner with friends, or, you've met new people and you're, sitting around, everybody's staring at each other like, oh my gosh, what should we talk about? This is just a great fun conversation starter. Hey, you might be old if. Do you remember when you used to do a TV guide? Do you remember when? Just kind of a fun, fun conversation starter. So I am just going through, just pulling out some things. I don't know, maybe some things that are sparking interest for me. We'll see what we end up with. I love these little guys. This one has 325 pieces in it, which is a lot. A lot. Lots of choices and options here. Kind of like that one, maybe. Here's the whole story. That could be fun to use. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm going to end up with a stack the size of like half the pack, right? Like half the pack is going to be this. Doing Your Thing, my favorite. So I'm just looking for pieces that can kind of fill in some of my space. This would be, look, this giant guy, look at. How fun would that be? There's a great list, right? With those 2 pieces together. That is a piece that I used on that, I don't know, things I'm good at or whatever list quite a while ago. There's that fun camera from before. You might be old if you used oh my gosh, remember disc cameras? Like that would be a big one. You might be old if you used a disc take camera. So many pieces in here speaking to me. I've got to figure out how to narrow them down, huh? We'll just see. We'll just see. They'll all kind of work their way in and out. There's some hearts. We should probably pull some of those hearts. Would be fun too, I think. There's gold foil accents in this pack too. So that's kind of fun. Wow. All right. I think that is probably a good cross section of things for us to work with in my little stack there. So let's set some of these guys off to the side just so we have a little bit of room to work here. Oh, and a bunch fell on the floor. We'll have to get those later. All right. Oh, yes, we also have, I think these are the coolest things. Let me pull these out too. These are all washi sticker sheets, so 10 of them. Washi sticker sheets. So I bet I could find some hearts and shapes. Ooh, maybe one. Okay. Here I said I had it narrowed down, but I don't know. I don't know. All right, we're just going to pull some of these things out. We got to stop. We got to stop. All right, here we go. Lots of choices here. Let's get the rest of these in. And then there's also like, I think 2 or 3. Oh my gosh, microfiche, right? Jukebox, payphones, Milkman. You remember having only 5 channels? Yes, 5 channels or 3 channels. If you sent your film out to be developed, yeah, long before email, right? Long before email. I remember when I worked at AT&T. So this would have been 94, no, wait a minute, 90, probably 93 to 90, 93 to 99, 92 to 99. Fax. We had faxes you'd come in the morning and it would be the thermal fax and there'd just be this roll on the floor of the faxes that all just kept coming in. And then interdepartment envelopes that each office, all the things would go in that needed to be sent somewhere else and then go in those interdepartment envelopes and go to another location or whatever. Yeah, lots of fun. All right, so in this case, I am going to take out, can I take them out? Yes. Well, that'll help a little bit. So what's happened here, and this is not uncommon, when I start to get towards the end of an insert, sometimes the center pages will pop out because the little staples can't hold them anymore. So I'm going to take those pages out. That'll make it a little bit easier for me to work with here. When I'm done with this insert, I will deconstruct it and reconstruct it, meaning I will take all of the, I'll take the staples out. I will make a new cover, so the new cover will be a little bit bigger so the pages don't stick out the cover, and then I will restitch it. And there's a video here on my YouTube channel where I go through that process of restitching. So let's see what we might want to do here. On that layout or spread that I was using over here as a reference or kind of as like an idea back from October of 2021, I had my title down here. So I think, it's just a totally different way to do it, right? Totally different way to do it. I'm just looking at, I had totally just had a whole bunch of different stuff around here. Let's just see. We're going to make this really bright and colorful. Maybe this would go over here off the page a little bit. I feel like I need maybe a bigger piece up here. We've got a viewfinder in range again, right? We had done a viewfinder a couple weeks ago. Currently doesn't really work because these are like old things, right? This Love It could be kind of fun. I'm just kind of filling in. Filling in some spaces. I'm going to have to start adhering things here very quickly because I'm going to, oh, I know. What about this? So these pieces, what if, this is kind of like a nice little, well, it's like washi, right? So what if this went along at the bottom? We made a little bottom piece here. And it's not quite wide enough for me. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Okay. Maybe we end up with, I think I'm just going to have to start putting things down. I think that is going to need to happen. Now, I like this, here's the whole story. So, but I kind of feel like if I'm doing here's the whole story, I need this color palette instead. Maybe like this. I'm just going to start putting stuff down, okay? Teach with the projector with the bright screen. That would be Marilee, right? Marilee's been a teacher for a long time. If you've been teaching with a projector with the bright screen. Now she has a smart board. I don't even know what a smart board is, Marilee. What is a smart board? That sounds pretty cool. Teachers should have all the cool things, right? All the cool things to teach the children in our world. Okay, I'm going to do that. Maybe these will just go over here. This is gonna be super bright. Super bright, but I love it. We'll move these over here a little bit. That guy's gonna wanna lift. We're gonna have to add some more adhesive to him. We're just adding loads of pieces here, and then we'll make our whole list around it. But I feel like I might need to do my title up here somehow, because I don't know, it might get lost. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right, I think we're off to a pretty good start. A pretty good start here. Okay, he's not going to work because unless we do something like this to get this guy way over here. And this little guy could kind of fit right in there. Oh, I know, we'll just cut part of him off. So, oh, guess who's here? Get in your bucket, buddy. Get in your bucket. So I just cut off part of that little butterfly. And now we're going to lift him back over here again. And move him back this way because he was a little bit too far. He's just sitting here looking out the window, joining me. Parents blew a whistle to get us all kids to come home, right? Or my house, it was like, come home when it's dark. Come home when it's dark. You're like, okay. No, parents had no way. They didn't know where you were. They didn't know how you were. I saw something the other day that said, talking about like, and you know, and the interesting name, but they called them latchkey kids, right? Like you just went, you had your own house key and you'd go to school and you'd come home and you'd make your own snack and you'd watch the after school special and you'd go hang out with your friends and then your parents would come home from work, right? Let's see, Craft, what collection is this? It's a Vicky, yes, Crafty. She has 4 new, they are like little mixed media packs. So this one that we're working with is called Artist. There are 4, there's Artist, Nature, Travel, and Old Soul. And it's a mixture of ephemera and washi stickers and acetate pieces. All right, so here we go. Now let's just see. Is there something here? Fun, cool, the details, do all the things. Yes, you, nice, or you can, yes. Maybe what if we try a yes in here somewhere and then we'll start making our list. So this type of list, this could be, you could do this with all your leftovers in a collection, right? Maybe you've kind of worked through the majority of a collection and you're kind of at the end and you're like, what do I do with all these pieces? Well, just put them down and make them work, right? I need to get this little center thing out. Let's see where yes is going to go. With these washi stickers, just be gentle. Where should yes go? Maybe yes just goes right here. How about that? Yes. Got to get that little center piece out again. Come on, little center. Come on. I don't want to rip the whole letter. There we go. All right. Yes. Okay. There's our start. Now, let's come in and still got to figure my title out, right? It needs to go in here, I think. So, I'm going to keep going with the same theme. We've done this, we've done this all day. So, let's just do, we are going to spell the word old, and I'm going to write the rest of the title. Let's just see if that works. I'm not sure if that will work there, but we're just gonna go. We're just gonna jump in. old. You might be old if. Gracie, we're doing you might be old if. Thanks, Tabitha. Nancy, yes, we were very independent back then, right? We were independent. It's a different time, right? It is a different time. All right, so now I think I can just do this. How about if we just do this? You might be old if. You might be old if, all right? So I feel like we're going to need a little separator right here. And my little separators are just that little line that just visually separates. I think we need two there though. It's just visually separating. Oh, Nick. Can you guys hear that? He's like scraping the street. All right, you might be old if. That little line is my little separator from the writing on my list. So let's now grab our little scissors. What do you guys have planned this weekend? Anything? Are you a golfer? Do you like to watch golf? We watched a little bit of that yesterday. I'm surprised Nick's not in here. He's yard working right now. So, but he had said, like, what are you going to do today, Nick? He's like, well, the Open's on, or I don't know, the PGA, something or other at Valhalla. So he is very interested in watching that. Although I said, hey, when I'm done today, we need to run to Trader Joe's. We need to run some errands. We'll see if I can get him to go with me. It may just be me, but that's okay. Because then guess what? I'm going to get outside. I'll be outside twice today, running errands, and then later tonight when we have our friends over and in the back patio. It's beautiful time of year here. Oh my goodness. It's just beautiful. All right, there we go. You might be old if. Now, I feel like, you know, because I have to outline everything, I feel like this might need that too. All right, there we go. We're ready. I think we're ready. You might be old if. So fun and colorful. All right. What if, just one more little idea. What if we took one of these little, I have pencils and crayons. What if we took a little, all right, well, I was going to say, I mean, this could kind of start our list there. Let's just do it. Let's do it. I think it will be cute there. So it's going to be like that little guy is writing for us. It's writing our list. Add more color. Bring more color into the fold. Okay, you might be old if. I think we're ready to start our list. Now, one other thing that I need, actually, I feel like, where did those little hearts go that I had? Maybe one of these. I feel like we need something up here. But I think these may be a little, maybe we need a little blue. What about this blue color? Let's see. I think that'd be fine if it was over here somewhere, but I do not like it on top of the yellow because it's a washi sticker, so it's a little bit like transparent, translucent, so it kind of lost some of its color, right? Because it picked up some color from underneath. All right, that works. We got to start listing. We got to start our list. All right, let's see what we have. What are we doing? What are we doing? Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. Good morning, Helen from Wellington, New Zealand. You love waking up to watch Lael on a Sunday morning. It's nice to have you, Helen. We've got a couple from New Zealand today. Crafty, you were going to go to your first cat show, but you didn't fill up to it. So you know what? That's good. If we don't fill up to it, sometimes we shouldn't force things. But tell me, what is a cat show? very interested what a cat show is. Linda May says she has a lot of outside animals. Some days that's the only time she goes outside, and that's okay, right? That's okay. Wanda said she's going to have to buy the collection. Looking great, Lael. Thanks for doing it. Yeah, it's you guys know I'm a huge Vicky fan. Vicky as a person, she's a very dear friend, and then also Vicky as an artist and as a designer, and yeah, it's just fun. It's just fun. Okay, so let's get on with our list. Let's get to listing now. All right, you might be old if. You might be old if. Hang on, putting those away. You might be old if. This one. So, as we do every morning, Nick and I, Saturday morning, we're having our coffee, and he's like, what's on your list of lists today? And I tell him, and I said, you might be old if, and he goes, I know, you might be old if you go to a concert and you sit down the entire time. Now, if that is you and that's how you like to enjoy a concert, there is nothing wrong with that, right? Everybody has their own lists. However, that is the first thing on my list because the concert that we were at last night, I'm not kidding you. I stood and danced the entire time, 4 hours, 3 bands, 4 hours. It was amazing. Well, this couple that sat next to us, I don't know, they're maybe our age, maybe a little bit older. I was talking to them a little bit in between one of the 3 concerts, and they're from Park City, where I grew up, so we kind of had some things in common. They sat the entire concert. So, again, nothing wrong with that, but in my book, you might be old if. So I'm just looking for, I pulled out my, Bullets and More stamp sets. I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to use the OG, the original Bullets and More, just called Bullets and More. And I think I'm going to keep it super basic, and I am going to use just the little dot, just like the little bullet, like a traditional bullet, right? And I'm pulling out the stamping stylus, which is a little stamping block that is one of my products. It's a stamping block, but teeny tiny, much easier to use with a little stylus. And I think what I might do, I think I'm going to pull in a pink for my bullets. So that pink, I'm going to say maybe Kitsch Flamingo. Maybe Kitsch Flamingo. Let's look. Where are we? Kitsch Flamingo? Oh, picked raspberry. It's picked raspberry. That is for sure. That's what we want. So let's grab that. Okay. Ooh, whoopsie. And the bullet stamp, so this little guy, I will use, oh my goodness, you guys, guess what I just remembered? I haven't talked about any giveaways today. What should we do? How about if we just do this? How about if we just say, hey, how about, we'll have 2 prizes, 1, 2. Each prize will be a $25 gift card to my website. Winners last week are on the website because there were too many. There were 12 from our International Scrapbook Day celebration. So today, friends, if you'd like to participate in the giveaway, leave a comment on the video when it's over, okay? Leave a comment on the video when it's over. Not in the chat, but in the comment on the video when it's over. Just say hi or tell me you might be old if and fill in the blank, whatever it is. And then when we're together again listing, which will be Saturday, June 1st, I will draw 2 random lucky winners right before we start. And those 2 random lucky winners will win each a $25 gift card, well, code to shop whatever they want on my website, okay? Let's see. Stephanie, one time you were at a concert standing up, dancing and singing, and someone nearby yelled at me for it. Now, here's the thing. This is my opinion. You have to read the crowd, right? You have to read the crowd. If everyone around you is sitting down and you're the only one standing up, sometimes I can see how that would be frustrating or annoying to everybody else. But I mean, everyone in this stadium is like jumping up and down and singing and dancing, and so it was okay. It was okay. But Stephanie, you never know. People sometimes, yeah, right? All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. They were older. Yeah, you might be old if, there we go. You might be old if you're at a concert and people are standing and you're mad. Yeah. Talia, I don't dance unless my toddler asks, so at 35 I'm old. Oh, a Kelly Clarkson concert. Oh my goodness. Of course people would be standing and dancing. All right, here we go. You might be old if. The first one for me is if you sit down the entire time at a concert. Now, I don't know, maybe you go to the symphony and everybody sits down at the symphony and, whatever. Whatever. We all make our own lists and whatever applies, applies. You might be old if you can't watch TV without the closed caption being turned on. That is the case in our household. We have to watch TV with closed caption. It's just very difficult, I find, to watch TV without closed caption. In fact, last night at the concert, there were a couple of times when Kane Brown is like talking, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, I wish you had closed caption. I'm having a hard time." And it's not him, it's me. I'm like, I'm having a hard time hearing what you're saying. Yeah. Hi, Julie. What is the collection? This collection that we're working with, Julie, is Vicki Boutin's, her artist. It's this artist pack. So the Artist Ephemera pack, and it has like lots of best ofs from some of Vicki's past collections. It's super fun. And it's linked in the description box of the video under what I'm using. All right, you can't watch TV without the closed caption. Anyone else, right? Debbie said, OMG, that's me. I can't hear without closed caption, right? Yep, totally. Another one. You are completely lost without your glasses. Now, for me, I associate that with old age. My eyesight started going like, seriously, like the minute I hit 40, it seemed. But yeah, I cannot, like last night we were at the concert and you couldn't, the venue, you couldn't, I mean, you could have a purse that was like 4x6. I'm like, 4x6 is barely a photo size. My phone's bigger than 4x6, so I had no purse or anything. I did just carry my phone with me, and then half the time I just stuck it in my bra. Because, you gotta do what you gotta do if you're trying to dance. What was I saying? Oh, but so there were a couple of times where I was like in the intermission of one of the concerts, I was trying to call Sam or I was texting somebody. I'm like, I literally can't see my phone without my glasses. Like literally can't see my phone. Wanda, something about 40, everything falls apart, right? Oh, so how about this? Here's another one. You might be old if Spanx are your best friend. Spanx, like shapewear or, stuff that sucks you in or, yeah. You might be old if Spanx are your best friend. That's me. Here's another one. You might be old if you can't sleep in past 7:00 a.m. ... no matter what time you go to bed. Yeah. Or what wakes you up in the middle of the night, right? No matter what time you go to bed. I'm pretty sure one of these things, another thing would be added to my list is you might be old if you eat dinner at 4:00 and go to bed at 8, right? I think that's coming. Not yet, but it's coming. You might be old if you rented movies from Blockbuster Video, right? Remember you'd go and you'd stand there and be looking at all the movies, and then you'd get faked out because they would always have the movie case in front. And then sometimes you're like, yes, they have it. And then you'd pick it up and there was no movie behind it. And then you were all sad because they had like 75 of the movie cases, like all right there, all the same movie, and they were all rented or checked out, whatever. Helen, you might be older. For the life of me, I can't remember what day of the week it is, right? Here's another one. You might be old if you go down the stairs to get something and can't remember what it was when you get there. All the time. All the time. Get down the stairs. Why am I down here? What was I doing? And then you get to the top of the stairs again. You're like, oh, well, you get up the top of the stairs and you're like, oh, yeah, I remember. And you go downstairs again. You're like, oh, my heck, what was I doing? I hate that. Yep, you go another room and you can't remember why, right? Totally. Totally. Okay, let's see. This is one. So, and I don't think this is the case anymore. You might be old if a typing class was mandatory in high school. And that was also ... on a typewriter, right? Not on a computer. I don't know. Is typing still a mandatory class like Tabitha? Does Adeline have to take a typing class in school? I don't know if that's the case anymore. If kids have to take typing, I don't know. I look at Sam and he's like this, or I don't know, like this on his phone or whatever. I don't know if kids take typing anymore, but it was a mandatory class. We had to take it and it was on a typewriter. And so I was in high school from 82 to 86. So I don't know. It doesn't seem that old. Debbie, you might be old if you were retired. You in 2 weeks? Debbie, I love it. Debbie, congratulations. That is huge. What a huge accomplishment. That is so exciting. So exciting. All right. You might be old if you bought 12 CDs for a penny via Columbia House. Remember that? You'd sign up 12 CDs for a penny, and I don't even remember how that worked. How they made money or how you had to buy all the rest of the CDs later or whatever it was, right? Wanda took shorthand, totally obsolete. So Wanda, that could be on your list. You might be old if you took shorthand, right? I don't think, they don't teach shorthand anymore, do they? Oh my gosh, Tabitha said Adeline had to take it in first grade. They get Chromebooks in first grade and that's where they do all their work. So they had first grade, right? And here we are. I was in high school on a typewriter, right? You might be old if you accessed the internet via dial-up, right? You remember that? You do your dial-up thing, and sometimes it would like seem like it would ring or make its it'd make all of that noise over and over and over again, and sometimes you could never even get in. Debbie still has all the cassettes from Columbia House. That's so fun. I love that. Libby is retiring in 300 days. Not that anyone is counting. Good for you, Libby. I think Debbie would probably tell you you're just around the corner, right? You are just around the corner. Nancy, you might make noise when you get up from the sofa. Yeah, totally. Christy said she thinks typewriting depends on the school, most offering keyboarding, right? Keyboarding, but not too demanding. Gracie took shorthand too on dial-up. Keyboarding, gotcha. Okay, keyboarding, right? Not typing, because keyboarding, that makes sense. Keyboarding. Another one, if you might be old if you wrote in cursive, because they don't teach cursive anymore, right? You might be old if you knew how to use the Dewey. How do you spell Dewey Decimal? Dewey. I-E-E-Y. Help me, friends. Dewey Decimal. How do we do that? You knew how to use the Dewey Decimal System. You knew how to use it, just not spell it. You knew how to use the, I'll finish that, decimal system to find books at the library. Right? You had to. You had to. EY, thank you. D-E-W-E-Y. Dewey Decimal System. All right, we're getting towards the end. If you listen to music on a Walkman, you listened to really cassette tapes. But then there was the Discman. If you listen to cassette tapes on a Sony Walkman, oh my gosh, I remember when I got my very first like MP3 player, I don't know, maybe before, was it before Apple came out? I don't know, it was one. And you could put like one CD on it, but it was little, right? It was this little thing. And I remember it was probably, oh my gosh, I bet it was like 22 years ago. And we went on a cruise with our friends, our same friends that are coming over tonight. And she and I had both bought one. And so we each had like one CD's worth of music downloaded on our little thing. And then we'd just swap. She'd say, I'm done with mine. Can I listen to yours? And then we would just each like go back and forth. But we thought we were so cool because it was just so small. Yeah. Oh, back in the day. You knew you were old if you used a rotary dial phone. All right. So my list is done. That is everything I had on my list. So bright and colorful. I love that. And you know what? Look it. We didn't have to use any pattern paper. We just used little die cuts and little washi stickers. So I do have a little bit of room here. And I think what I'm going to add there, I bet we can find kind of a fun, snarky word strip sticker. So let's look. Let's see. I'd like to announce I have no idea what I'm doing. If it requires pants or a bra, it's not happening today. Funny, but doesn't really fit. We never really grow up. We only learn how to act in public. How about that? Because we're kind of talking about you might be old if. I think that is fun. So it's kind of wide. I mean, it fits the space, but then it's kind of too wide for me. So I think what I'll do is this. I think we're going to say you never really grow up. We only learn how to act in public. So what if we do that? Let's see how we want to do this. We never really grew up. We only learn how to act in public. And I think we'll just go back to, let's use this one. We'll use this little date stamp because it's a little bit bigger. Today is the 18th of March, April, May, 2024. We'll use our black to add just a little bit more black in there. And let's see. We'll test it because we always should test first, right? 18 May, 2024. Okay, that looks good. And we're just going to pop that right down there in that little space. There we go. 18 May 2024. And there is my you might be old if list. All right, friends, look at that. 4 hours, 4 lists. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. I can see really one thing I need to do quickly here is I need to add a little bit more adhesive right there behind those pieces, because they have to round that corner. So I'm gonna hold that there for just a second. And I am going to transistor radio in elementary school. I love it. A toot-a-loop. Oh my goodness, what is a toot-a-loop? A toot-a-loop. You might be old if, how about this? Yeah, if you use the little floppy disk, and then remember when they made all of a sudden the little smaller ones, and we thought, oh, that's amazing. All right, friends. Let's do this. Let's rotate our camera, and then we'll say our goodbyes for today. We will, I don't know, I've been messing with my necklace the whole time. It's all doing something weird. So let me just try to get that back in. Okay, flipping the camera, and we will say our goodbyes. Okay. We will not be listing next Saturday. Next Saturday is Memorial Day. Okay, so I will not be in town. I'll do a Flashback Friday Fun email like I always do when I'm out of town and we're not listing. But we will be listing again June 1st, Saturday, June 1st. All right, so join me Saturday, June 1st. 2 giveaways, 2, not 4, 2 giveaways. 2 giveaways. So the first, well, both are a $25. I'll send you a coupon code to use for $25 to buy whatever your little heart desires on the website. All right. So that's easy. Leave a comment on this video when it's over. You have between as soon as it's over and Saturday, June 1st, right before we start, I'll do those 2 random lucky winners. I'll reply to your comments so you know, and I will announce them that morning when we get started. Okay, friends? So lots of lists. We did 4 lists today. There is a link in the description box of the video down below to the page on my website of what I'm using. There you will see links to everything that I used in in our listing session today. So if you have any questions about anything I used or anything I did, go ahead and leave a comment on the video when it's over, or go to laelbymail.com and click contact us and ask your question, and we'll go from there. If you missed me say this earlier, the stamps that were up for pre-order the beginning of this month, they shipped out to me on Thursday, this past Thursday, and they'll be arriving early this coming week, the week of the 20th. So if you had placed a pre-order for those stamps, watch for an email at some point this week letting you know shipping confirmation and your tracking number. And then also the This Is Us project kit. If you had ordered the This Is Us project kit, we've just been waiting for that This Is Us stamp set to come in. So those will ship later next week as well, the week of May 20th. So everything will be shipped before I head out of town on Monday, the 24th. All right. Thank you, friends. I hope you have, I'm just checking out the chat really quick. I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday, a great rest of your weekend, and have a lovely, restful, whatever that you do over Memorial Day weekend if you are observing Memorial Day weekend. And I hope to see you in the, either this coming week, there is one more class this coming week, the Let's Get Away mini book project kit. That class is on Tuesday night, the 21st. My calendar's over there. Tuesday night, the 21st. So I hope to either see you that night for class or June 1st for our next Saturday listing session. If not, I hope to see you somewhere, either in person or on the interwebs at some point soon. Thanks for watching, friends. Bye-bye.